Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese episode 166. I'm your Joe Dix, joined tonight by Mark Augustiniak.
What's up?
And Matt Solner.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Why, thank you.
Oh, The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games, brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com.
I thought you were telling him in case you didn't know.
No, I know. I'm aware.
It was a surprise.
I was partially telling Matt and partially
Hope you like video games.
Reminding the listeners. Episode 166 has 66 in the title, and I saw a license plate with 666 in the title, and it's October and Castlevania.
How edgy.
But first, Matt, why are you here?
I love video games.
Matt loves video games. Matt, you wrote some stuff for us in the past.
I have, and more finally coming out on the way. I have been the sports guy of the site doing. I think I did NHL, not this year.
You did.
I did 16, and I did MLB The Show 15.
You did another thing too, right?
I don't know that ever got published.
Oh,
No, you're fine. No, back in the day when I was all about Destiny, that's not the case anymore. Burned myself out. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I did write an editorial piece saying why Destiny could be a solo master game. You can play it as a solo thing, but yeah, no.
I didn't publish that
I
one?
burned myself out of it. I think we were still making edits to it. It was fine. I think by the time I wanted to publish it, I had started to burn myself out.
You're right. Well, there we go. But yeah, you wrote 2 reviews. You got a MLB 15 and NHL 16.
Yep.
The ones that matter.
It's actually a good balance to the site.
It was. I remember you said that when they were published too. It was like, oh, good, we need this.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, real life, I watch a lot of sports, so of course that translates to my video games.
That's true.
And yeah, so
it's very true.
NHL is always one of my favorite fighting games.
Yeah, you're not like the old
Are we
Genesis
talking about
days.
the actual EA franchise, or are we talking about NHL hits? Both.
Pretty much
That's
any
the right answer.
any kind of hockey game that allows it.
All of the above.
Especially on 64, I messed with that. I think it was a Wayne Gretzky game though. I don't think it was just like a.
I don't know.
I think Gretzky games weren't they trying to make a comeback on the Wii?
That sounds.
They were trying to do a lot of comebacks on the Wii, and it didn't happen.
I think it came with like a hockey stick peripheral. I rolled my eyes when I saw it.
Oh yeah.
It was something came with a hockey stick peripheral.
I remember there was
They had like a Wii Sports thing, just like a combination of stuff.
Was it an official thing? Like I think they showed something official from Nintendo, and then they never put it out. Like all the weird attachments.
Vitality sensor.
Oh yeah. And then at some point, some company made all those like tennis rackets, and I don't remember. I don't know. But no, Matt and I work together, as most of our, guests on the show. They all come from work. But we clicked because video games was immediate. That was just like, boom, duh. And then we found out that we listened to the same podcast and had the same obsessions. Yeah. Very, very rooted in that PlayStation background.
I am.
Yeah. We had that you could smell it on one another.
Out again.
It wasn't a singling out of Mark moment. It was a hey.
No, I know.
Yeah. And Matt wanted to come on and yell at us about our N64 list.
Yeah, there's some personal feels there, but we can get to that.
Oh, don't worry. My number ones were already.
Oh, don't worry. My number one's not even on the list. So.
We could jump into that. We wrapped up our N64 month.
It's Kyle's fault.
It is Kyle's fault. Kyle ruined it all. So for those who aren't aware, who are first tuning in, new listeners, or just you've never been to the website, you only listen to the podcast, you should go to thefreecheese.com because it's where we spend the rest of our week. But what we've been doing since we relaunched the site back in June is we've made it more of a magazine. So we have a cover story each month, and then I'm showing these two as if they've never seen the website before.
Yeah, I'm never.
But we have a cover story each month that is dealing with a central theme, and then we post things relevant to that theme throughout the month. Last month we highlighted the 20th anniversary of the Nintendo 64. We did a little bit in terms of celebrating it, but the big thing we did, the big feature we had for the month was a list of our 20 favorite games that we calculated by, we each individually came up with our 20 favorite.
Yeah.
Combined them all.
Excuse me.
And what you see is what the results were.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But Matt was upset that we didn't have a particular game.
Yeah. Where was WWF No Mercy at?
I actually never played that one. But here's the thing. Like, I on my list, I had Warzone because that was the first wrestling game I played. So that was my gateway, even though it's a bag of crap. But I still love it.
They were.
But
that
WCW
creator.
versus NWO.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite.
Booker T.
Just Sting, Rey
Yes.
Mysterio.
Yep.
Just I don't know. I just
Ric
that
Flair.
I'd been more fonder memories with my friends playing that game.
Yeah.
But Warzone, I was already obsessed with WWF. I had like the toys, and when I came around Christmas, and I was just like had Offspring in the background. So because it was my brother's CD, I just kept listening to it. But yeah, I was just that was me. Degeneration X and Offspring.
Yeah, I feel like if I remember correctly, WWF No Mercy came out right in the middle of the Attitude Era, which still hands down is the best era I believe in wrestling. And that game had a little bit more resonance just with the group of people I grew up with in our neighborhood.
Sure.
It was like 4 of us, and we all had like our own like, what do you call them, like our groups? Like we all just kept creating these wrestlers, and we made up like these fake belts, and we scheduled matches with each other, and then like we all created a chick to be our sidekick. Of course, it was this whole thing, and it lasted pretty much that entire first summer it was out, because that was of course the first summer out of school. We had time to really spend time with it, but
Yeah.
That's awesome.
yeah, we all like joined forces. Once some of us became heels, some of us became faces, and it's flip flop depending on whatever. But that something that's a little unknown about that game is that single player campaign.
Yeah.
You could go for any belt, and each belt, depending on how things shook out, like you could win or lose a match, but the story continued, and there's all these different trees and branches that was pretty amazing for a game back then.
N64, yeah.
Like
A licensed title on the N64.
and you take that kind of for granted now, especially I'm playing Telltale Batman, and that's just something you take for granted now with every choice of dialogue you have. But back then, losing a match, you thought you were done. Like you had to keep winning. No, if you lost the match, like you just went another way to get to the belt.
Huh.
That was
it a
another one of
second
my
chance.
favorite things when you actually got to kind of played it by yourself. But no, that whole personal resonance of just the people I grew up with, and just that entire summer was a super fun summer of wrestling in the middle of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
I'm like I can't. I'm not sure if I played that particular title or not.
I'm looking
like,
at the
Like, can I see the box art?
box
Classic
art.
box cover of the
And
art,
I
or the
remember
rock.
it.
I'm sure I played it, but I never owned it.
This is the worst box art I've ever seen.
It didn't matter because the rock's on the front.
I know, but like really looking at it, like there's way too much happening if you really look at it from like a design
You can
perspective.
digest that. That's the WWF No Mercy logo for the pay-per-view.
But-
That's
get-
The
but-
Rock looking good. Triple H is doing a pedigree.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is
What I
on the
liked
left,
about
but
the-
it doesn't matter.
What I liked about the Warzone cover was that it was just a straight up just photograph from of just Stone Cold up on a turnbuckle, but it wasn't like cropped. It wasn't a bunch of images cropped together. It was like taken in that scene.
It was
Like you're in the arena and somebody just took a picture of him. Like look like it came from a real match.
I just remember getting all of these games and just playing them, just to man,
But yeah, the character creator was my favorite.
making your own character.
Creator, definitely.
And just like being able to throw your brother through a table or like just any of the bullshit, and then setting it to Stone Cold's theme, just always just like the glass breaking. Yeah, it was fantastic. I still like my friend Wayne. He gets the wrestling games every year, and we typically, I don't think we've done it yet. The new one's not out yet. Is
Not
it?
out yet.
But we typically every year we gather and we.
I haven't played a new one in so long.
We do it for typically a night or so, and we'll make characters based on people we know, and we make them wrestle each other in computer matches. But it gets a little fun and exciting.
You can just make the craziest characters.
Yeah.
I don't know if
They're-
anyone's seen an Achievement Hunter Let's Play when they do WWE Let's
the new
Play.
ones. Or are you talking about the old
The
games?
older ones when Ray was still part of the team there, but they did some Let's Plays there. Oh my god, the characters that they created to bring out for
I'm saying in the new games or
no, in the newer games, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is it 2013 or 14 where it's like infamously known for like all of its glitches and weird bugs?
It was the year after THQ, so
just where like the bodies would get warped and you're clipping through stuff, and it's just like
it was after
going
THQ
through
because the developer
It had to be 14 because I think the one I had on PS3 was 13,
like that famous
and
video
that
clip
ran
of, like,
fine.
the referee doing like a weird little pose and arm just like wraps around his body or whatever.
It was because the PS3 there was no PS4 version the year the PS4 came out.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the first PS4 one, which would have probably been
Might be 15.
15, but in 14.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know.
Maybe, something like that. But yeah, that was, you're right. That was
I don't know. I need my next gen wrestling game, and it's happening this year.
We still
I
need
can't
it.
Is
wait.
it? Which one? The 17?
Oh, I'm getting 2K17.
Why?
Oh, I need a wrestling game in my life. I need one per console, and that
Console, like, cycle?
console, console cycle, and I don't have one yet. I'm itching for one. I kind of sort of want to get back into wrestling, but I don't want to all at the same time.
I get it. It's
I
like
think
when-
this would be my fix.
Maybe, or it might start you down the... Because that was like... A few months ago, I realized I was spending like $50 a week, and not a week, maybe like 20 or... It was probably about $20 a week in comics, and I wasn't reading a single fucking one. I was just subscribed to them all, and they downloaded to my iPad, and I'd never touch them. And then I canceled all my subscriptions, and I was like, I got to take a hiatus from comics right now. I'm way too... spending too much money, and then...
They don't have like a Netflix for comics.
Kind of, but not for like the DC stuff that I wanted to read. And it wasn't so much the money part. It was the fact that I'm spending the money and I'm not reading them.
Yeah.
So I was like, look, if I'm going to wait for them all to stack up to read them anyway, I might as well wait and then buy them backwards and read them that way. And then last night, Flash debuted. I start watching Flash and I'm like, oh, shit, I got it. And today's Wednesday, new comic day, and I'm looking at everything that came out. And I'm like, oh. And I know it's just going to... All the money I'm saving, just gone. Because...
I can just wait for like the TPBs or...
Yeah, but that's my point, is that you're going to buy the wrestling game, and it's not going to get your fix. It's going to just amp it up even more. And next thing you know, you're going to be painting your face. You're going to be holding your
I will
arms
not be
up.
painting my face. And the only reason I'm putting my arms up is to do an NX.
NX, I know.
Yeah. Go and give it to you. I know you've done it at some point, but it was before I was on here. But I still think we need to make like a free cheese wrestling group and wrestle other like game websites or podcasts.
Did we do that?
You said, apparently I brought up that idea, and apparently you and Kyle remember doing something similar. Maybe you just did it between you guys and friends, but I'm not sure if you actually versed other.
No, I think we might have just referred to the stuff that we did with Wayne.
No,
That's a good idea. We should do that with 7. No, we were going to do it. Me, Chris, and Dave, we were going to all do like a big whatever. We were going to get that game. We were all going to split it like 5 ways or something, spend no money and buy it, and then make our own characters and do like a big live stream of it. Let's do it.
That's a live stream waiting to happen, and I will have 2K17 on PS4. So
there you go.
And I have a PS4 now. So I have a reason to get back into wrestling a little bit.
We'll have to figure out. Well, we will do. When's 17 come out?
Hold on. I got the goal in my bank. Let me just pull up my bank app here.
It's soon. It's like end of the month.
It's in October.
Yeah.
I want to say it's...
I'm going to say the 29th.
10th.
The 10th. That's...
Damn.
That's real soon, and that just got me real excited.
That's tomorrow.
No, it's not tomorrow.
Today's the 5th. It's next week.
Something that does come out soon that is piquing my interest is Mafia 3.
Oh, when's that?
I think it's this Friday. I think it's a Friday release.
That's tomorrow. Will you be playing that Friday? What have you been playing recently? That's a segue.
Huh, see what you did there.
Yeah. This is a little segment we call
Classic.
Now Playing, like the theater. So yeah, Matt, what have you been playing? You're soon to play Mafia 3. Why Mafia 3?
The Mafia era is kind of one of my favorite historical eras of the United States, and I have an Italian background.
Okay.
So I'd like to think I was part of the Italian mob at some point.
Makes sense.
Never done the research to trace back to that, but yeah, no,
it's better to leave that, because if you're either going to find out that you were, and then you might feel bad about it, Or
I won't feel bad about it. I feel like a badass about it.
Or you find out that you weren't, and then you have to just lie to yourself forever. So this, you just kind of keep it going.
No, I've actually never played the other Mafia games, which I don't know why I never did. It might have been an income thing, but...
they never... You know what? To me, they always seemed like GTA ripoffs.
I just don't think they were marketed correctly.
They never... Yeah, like, they never got pushed the right way.
2 got put... I think 2 was a little bit more mainstream, and I remember playing a demo for it on PS3, and I was like, I want to get back to this.
Yeah.
And it never happened. But 3 looks cool. It's coming at a good time, at a shallow fall, I would say, definitely for what I want. And, yeah, just the Mafia background. I believe it's taking place in New Orleans, which is cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that setting since Infamous 2.
Yeah, no.
So I think that would be a cool little place to run around as a mobster and get that mob money.
And it's right after
beat some people with bats.
the civil rights movement, right? Or it's like Vietnam. Like, the guy's a vet.
Yeah, he's a
Is it Vietnam or
Vietnam vet. Yeah, definitely Vietnam vet. There's another aspect of his character which is cool. He is African American, which is a weird. I think that's an unusual twist on like your typical mobster back in that era. So
black dude, mobster, New Orleans, right around the. He's got PTSD more than likely, and it's
probably
right after the civil rights movement in the South. So like, it's gonna get fucking.
I can't wait.
Wow.
Yeah,
give me a bat right now.
And you play as him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's coming out. Of course, I've been playing NHL 17. That's just a cornerstone for me at this time of year. Just finished Deus Ex about a week ago.
Mankind Divided.
Yes, yeah, Mankind Divided. Yeah, liked it.
I kept flipping the other.
Liked it. I kind of think I want to go back and replay it at some point
Yeah.
before the whole slew of games comes out that I want to play this October.
Explain Deus, because I remember when Human Revolution came out, everyone was like, "Yeah," and all I knew was like some dumb CD-ROM with a guy with glasses looking up in the sky. From the
Talk
old
about
Deus.
terrible box art.
Right? Yeah. That's so. Why? What is Deus Ex for the uninitiated?
Deus Ex is like a it's like think like the Ex Machinima, like Machinima, or however you want to say that.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, think of like that. I never played the original game.
Yeah.
I played it for 5 minutes when I was like 12, I think.
I played it.
Way too political for me. But when Human Revolution came out, it was relaunched. I actually had a friend that had it on disc, so I was able to borrow it. Yeah, it's just Human Revolution was a pretty cool reboot. It was pretty much the emergence of using augments in humans to make like a better soldier, to make life better.
It's very cyberpunk.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it was a nice little take of like how oh my god, I'm losing my track of words here. Just how like the population was taken to it, both in Detroit and the second part of the game takes place in Hong Kong. How just like that population was just adjusting to it, and a whole series of events happen. There's always some kind of political backstabbing in these types of games, and I really liked it. It had some issues, especially mechanically shooting, but if you were decent at stealth, you had a good experience with it.
So is this kind of it's stealth action?
Stealth action, mostly first person, but once you kind of get ducked behind cover, it becomes like a more third person type of game. Yeah, it definitely don't want to shoot first, especially in Human Revolution. The mechanics were just awful, and that's the big complaint for me and critically was the boss fights made you shoot. Not fun. Not fun at all. They did that director's cut, which fixed the boss fights, and I never went back and played that. I was always intrigued, though.
Nobody asked for it.
Well, the ones who wanted a better boss fight did.
That's true.
And then Mankind Divided actually picks up after Human Revolution. It's a couple years. You're still the main character, Adam Jensen, who is a cyborg pretty much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of crap happens to him at the beginning of Human Revolution. So picking up that story, and after a huge political event at the end of Human Revolution, mankind is literally divided, and you they're pretty much trying to segregate everyone. Segregate like the people that are augmented to the people that are regular humans, and more political sabotage happens, more crap like that. But it gets convoluted, but it's a fun time playing, and I enjoyed it most of the way through. Ending left a little to be desired. Definitely setting up again for a sequel, but it's heading in the right direction. I actually enjoyed shooting a gun in that game, which was a delight after Human Revolution.
Sure.
But yeah, no, did really like Mankind Divided. And then, of course, I am going to finish this review. I'm going to put a deadline on it today.
Mm-hmm.
I will have it in your hands by Friday.
I
will have it in your hands by Friday, whether it publishes...
That's tomorrow.
Whether it publishes by, in that day or whatever, that's yet to be seen. But yeah, we will have Batman Telltale review of episode 1 and 2 in a kind of like whether or not you should buy it, because I don't think I want to write reviews for 3 and 4 due to spoiler nature of the events at that point.
Got it. Wait, 3 or 4? What?
Episodes 3 and 4.
Are they out?
No.
Oh.
But when they come out, I think we're going to pass on reviews just because at this point we know what the game is mechanically. It's just a matter of how the story plays out.
Oh.
And I don't want to be ambiguous and say, oh yeah, it does this and it does this well.
That's fair.
That's a cool choice, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
I'll wrap it up after I play 5.
That's a good... Yeah. So this will be more like a review in progress.
Yeah, kind of like, yeah.
And then we'll update it. All right.
Yeah, definitely 1 and 2 is on the way. I'll just kind of foreshadow. I like it.
Okay.
It seemed like one of the better polished Telltale games.
Yeah, Matt's been telling me a bit at work and stuff, just choice-wise, story, it's kind of doing some weird things with the Batman lore.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest comics reader when it comes to any comic book hero, but do enjoy Batman as a character, do idolize the movies, do idolize the Arkham games, not those other games. Work Batman Forever, Scars.
Oh,
yeah. So
talk about bad Genesis.
From what I know of the lore, this is pretty original. There was actually one character I had to look up, Mayor Hill. It turns out he is actually a character that I did not know existed in the comic book world, and that was kind of cool to see Telltale's really grabbing some deep lore that the more mainstream Batman fan might not know, and they're doing a pretty cool original story from what I know of the lore as well.
There was one thing that I don't think is like crazy sport. I mean, kind of, but like one of the, what was it? Like there was something you.
Oh, you're talking about the decision in episode 2 that I was very excited about?
No, before, it was still in episode 1. There was something you mentioned about.
Oh, relationship?
Yeah.
I left it out on my review, but
right.
I said there are some interesting dynamics of relationships that grow these characters in the universe, and I think it's pretty cool. And I will say something you see like within the first 20 minutes of episode 1, it seems like Bruce and Harvey are like friends.
Yeah.
Like good friends.
Yeah.
So,
and they kind of always they've hinted at that in like the animated series had a bit of that.
Yeah.
And different things. I remember there was this fantastic, sorry, I just spiked the mic. Fantastic Fat Man on Batman episode with Kevin Smith and Paul Dini, where they made up they talked about, you remember the Arkham Origins commercial? Like a 60-second teaser where it was like beautiful, had the really sad piano music and like I think Blur Studios did the animation for it. It was like the pearls falling in the rain, it was like really, and like it told the Batman story better than anything had ever done for 60 years, 75 years. But him and Paul Dini watched it and then talked about it, and then they spent the rest of the podcast and bled into another one, talking about what their ideal Bruce Wayne show would be. And they basically, it was kind of like Gotham, where they did like Baby Bruce, but they were like, let's talk about the middle years, like the ones where he's in prep school. And they built up this whole Gotham prep. Or I think they put him in Bloodhaven. Like they kept building, like they built it like this whole Gotham Academy thing. And like halfway through the episode, Paul's just like, fucking Bloodhaven. And like they were like, think about it. Then you got this whole other thing, and they kept like building and building.
I'm pretty sure Bloodhaven was supposed to be a show.
I think it was.
It was a pitch.
And then they talked about like, oh, have him dorm with Harvey Dent, and then blah blah blah, and then there's a girl who comes to town and she's a badass and she just wants to. It's an all-boys school, but she wants to shake things up next semester. And then you do season 2 the next semester, and then boom, your fucking lead is Talia al Ghul. And it was like, It was really good. Is this the thing? I think it's this.
I don't know. That was one of the best boss fights I've ever played, though.
That was good.
Yeah.
I think this is it.
It's all snowy.
This one.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
The poop face.
It just keeps showing Bruce's face through the years. Just that same dead stare into the camera. As he grows up, goes from a little boy, everything's stripped away from him, to a grown-ass man in a bat suit, beating the fuck out of dudes.
But not killing them.
I kind of wish the Arkham games were movies.
Well, I mean, the franchise is successful enough. I'm sure at some point they'll have. They kind of tried to do that a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, Telltale.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sorry to be long-winded, but yes, that's what I've been playing lately.
Yeah, no, it's good. My biggest question to you has always been, how's that engine? And you said seemingly fine.
I've seen there's been a couple stutters.
Okay.
But no, nothing as bad as anything I played on PS3.
Cool.
I have not played another Telltale game besides this. I actually mentioned this in the review when I talked about the engine. I have not played another Telltale game on PS4. No, I take that back. I replayed The Walking Dead Season 2 on PS4.
Okay.
Yeah, that ran like trash a little bit. This is definitely running a little bit better.
How does it stack up in terms of just a Telltale game? Is that what you're getting here? Is there anything different?
You're getting another Telltale game.
Okay.
You're getting. I will say that this one got its hooks in me a little bit earlier. I have tried to play other Telltale games, Game of Thrones, I'm looking at you, that have not grabbed me within that first hour.
I like I still need to finish it, but it's The Wolf Among Us.
I'll mention that The Wolf Among Us is my favorite Telltale game besides season 1 of The Walking Dead.
I just remember in the first, I think it's the first episode where like we first meet Buffkin, and you can just tell him to fuck off, and he just gets sad like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to be rude, I just want to see what would happen.
Wolf Among Us is.
He's like, Buffkin will remember that.
Definitely.
Marc Game.
Marc Game.
Trademarked with a C.
God damn it, I hate everything. Matt, you played anything else?
No, that's about it. Besides me drunkenly uninstalling MLB The Show last night, to immediately reinstall it, realizing my mistake this morning.
It's okay. It was an emotional night for...
There's the Orioles.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Nothing alcohol can't fix.
It's it's like when
liquid therapy.
It's like I texted Matt last night. Like it's like when Nintendo comes to E3 and like, but not the new console that we're gonna and we're not gonna talk about anything but this thing.
Yeah,
it turned out to be okay, but it was.
Like I said, they said September. I'm saying September 2017.
Mark, what have you been playing? Bring me out of this NX depression.
Just to get it out of the way, I had a little poop game. I played a little bit of Smash Bros. On 3DS.
Perfect.
Just get back.
I've been feeling the Smash Brothers itch lately. You know what it was? It was that
I kind of do it just to brush up on my quote skills.
Sure.
Just so it's just not too rusty, but just like a small amount of rusty.
I get that. It was this
just seeing if I still got it.
This image, I think I sent this to you.
Yeah.
Some guy did, or lady, I don't know what it was. Someone on the internet.com posted
he has a whole DeviantArt gallery.
There you go. It's He-Man.
He does a whole bunch of sprite work.
Yes, sprites, and he redid all of the Smash roster in like really, really pretty sprite work.
You can see them individually too.
Yes. Yeah. And this is like one big picture of it. And looking at it, I was like, ugh, like I haven't played Corrin enough. I want to go back and play Corrin.
I just did my usual Lincoln Villager.
Killager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting a bullshit level 9 Pikachu. I was like, oh, you just want to keep spamming your little special attack? I'll just pocket him and throw him back. And the AI is dumb.
It is pretty dumb.
They fall for the tree every time.
I've been jumping back a little bit here and there on 3DS with that one, just because it boots up way faster than the other system. But it's also, I don't know, it just runs pretty smooth in the new 3DS.
Yeah.
Plus that C stick.
I finally got a game that I couldn't get working before to work now, thanks to, I guess, the Windows 10 upgrade. Galak-Z.
Oh.
I got it to work.
And?
I like it. It's a lot. It's tough. It's tough, like, control-wise. Like, I'm not...
Is it a Marc
Yes.
game?
Yes, it is. I remember you had trouble with the beginning. Just, I don't think you were, like, in the mindset for it, maybe, but everything was just too, like...
False.
No, but you said you didn't like how, like, tutorially it was.
Yeah,
or,
I hate tutorials, but two, also, because I'm running Windows via Boot Camp, it was a little jittery, so...
Yeah. I had a little jitters at first with, like, the first intro cutscene, but everything kind of loaded fine after that. I did I was on like the third mission, so episode 3 or whatever it's called. And like I'm not used to constantly moving while attacking. I'm used to staying like a tank and just like shooting in one spot. I'm like, oh, I died really quick.
Because
I'm afraid of like hitting everything.
It's like asteroids, right?
Yeah, it's like a hardcore asteroids.
But the movement's like asteroids. You're in a little ship and you're navigating through a maze of bullshit.
And like the more you push yourself, you can also do reverse or hold both triggers to do break. So you stand in one spot because you're in this cave like meteor, and I don't want to hit walls while trying to shoot like this bugs or space pirates and shit. And it's like, so I try to stand still, and it's like, no, you can't do that. You got to constantly be moving and then trying to aim at the same time. But
do you turn into a giant robot in this game? Or am I just dreaming that?
No, eventually you do get the ability to turn into a mech. And I think it might play a little differently once that happens.
I thought that was the case, it just wasn't.
And you get upgrades on your ship too. And I'm pretty sure I had an auto fire thing, but maybe I didn't turn it on. I don't know. That'd be easier. That way I can just focus on moving around. Yeah. So I'll give that more time when I get back into it.
From what I remember, the soundtrack's very good.
Yeah, like everything about it is just supposed to give like a Saturday morning cartoon feel.
Yeah. Talking to the your lady,
Beam.
I don't know. Sure.
That's her name.
Yeah.
Everyone has like really simple names.
I thought it was Navi. Wasn't sure.
It's like you're just trying to lose friends.
Sorry. But does it get this?
Yes.
Indicating towards my Marc Game trademark.
Yes, it does. Definitely does. I guess I'll just like make like a little list, like a little section on the site, just Marc's recommendations.
We'll put it up in the menu up top, just Marc Game trademark.
But yeah, I didn't give that too much time, but enough to let myself know, make sure I could actually like it, not just like the idea of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. And then the biggest thing I've been playing is our I guess it's our game club thing.
Yeah, we didn't announce it yet on the site, so you're getting a taste of it first here on the Free Cheese Podcast. That's why you listen, kids. Game club this month.
Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance.
Yep. Well, yeah, I'm playing on Wii U, but
yeah, originally on the old James Boy, and so you can pick that up. Either the solo cartridge is out there in places. I went ahead a while ago and picked up it's a dumb name. It's very like Japanese thrift store type of cartridge. Castlevania Double Pack. It seems really
straight to the point,
chintzy, but it's both.
Like, what would you call it?
I don't know.
Castlevania Depression Duo.
Just like I don't know what I'd call it.
Gothic goodness.
But like Double Pack makes it seem like you're getting it at a dollar store or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I when I first saw it, like I said earlier, I thought it was the first 2 NES games.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I didn't expect 2 Game Boy Advance titles in one
Game Boy Advance cartridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty impressive.
Harmony of Despair and Aria of Sorrow. Harmony, for those who've never played it, all of the like GBA and DS games.
Because there's actually 3.
There's 3. There's Circle of the Moon, which was a launch title.
Yeah, is that the one where you have the white hair and like the red?
That one's
coat?
Harmony of Despair.
Oh, that's that one. Okay,
That's that one. Circle of the Moon is the one where you're Julius Belmont.
but you have like a weird outline around you.
You have a
in both
dumb
of them.
haircut.
It's like a blue or red outline around you.
Yeah, it's bad.
For Harmony, it's a blue outline.
Yeah.
I always remember seeing gameplay, but I never actually played it. I've been
The problem with so they're all great. They're all basically the same idea. Where Symphony of the Night, but add some new mechanics, new map system, etc.
Is the Circle of the Moon? Are you wearing green and black?
Yeah.
And you have a red outline, and you have like a spear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I remember now.
It's fine. It's not. It's not the best. The problem with Harmony of Despair specifically is the music.
Is it bad?
It's so bad. It's like really. Let me. As you tell
I've
me
been
about Aria.
I've been playing Aria with earphones.
It's great, isn't it?
The sound effects and the music's great.
That was I got a Game Boy Advance in the mail the other day. Remember I think
appropriately black.
Yeah. Because I
Try-hard
accidentally bid on this and then I got it, and then here it is. And the first thing I booted up obviously was.
Are you gonna customize it?
I don't know yet. Playing without a backlight sucks. But here's some menu music. Fine. It's fine. If we boot
I was about to
into,
pick up too.
Sure. Here's.
It's okay. Doesn't stand out, but it sets the mood.
It's just this.
The whole time?
The whole game.
Every level?
No.
I was like, usually every section has its own music.
But it's basically like, it's that like. Ugh.
Yeah, but I remember was it yesterday I was texting you that I was stuck? I figured it out.
Oh.
I'm in the clock tower now.
I think that's where, I don't know, I've got a save pulled up here.
Because it was like, so you go in there and then there's like these little like, it's a clock tower and then as well there's like a little garden area with these giant roosters that turn you to stone.
Sure.
Yeah, demonic roosters.
That makes sense.
But there's a part where these little elevator lifts can take you up these moving platforms, and when I looked at the map, I wasn't where I was anymore. There's like 5 or 6 rooms just at the top of the very map. They're all separated because when you go through a door, it's like the same looking scenery, but in each block.
Oh, that's a.
But it's random in the way you go in them.
It's a warp room.
Yeah.
I don't think it's random. I think there's an order.
Well,
I think.
Well, I know. Well, there's a boss door that's covered in black, and I feel like I need to do something to unlock that. And I don't know. That's not where I am now.
That's the new stuck.
But I have a cool poison sword.
Much more dynamic. Listen to the layers. There's a lot happening.
See, but the thing is, like, I played Dawn of Sorrow first. That was my gateway Castlevania.
Right.
Then, and I played it all the way through, beat it, did the second playthrough, whatever. So, since that's a sequel to Aria, it's like, well, I kind of already know what happens to a point, which is fine. But I started to compare, like, everything else. I was like, well, I see a lot of people give this game just as much praise for certain things. So I was like, I want to see, like, well, okay, well, what's good about it? I like the music, I like the sound effects. I love the artwork. Dawn of Sorrow doesn't have that artwork.
Yeah.
But Dawn of Sorrow, I believe, at least with me, has way better sprite animations because it's on better hardware.
Sure.
So, and even the music was a little catchier, in my opinion.
It's been too long since I've played that.
Because what I noticed with the weapons in this one, if you have like, what is it? I think it's just like a bastard sword, like something like, or a hammer, or like an axe. The Game Boy Advance does like that dumb tween motion with the arm, where it's just like this. So it's just like a smooth like flash animation, just like it looks unnatural.
Yeah.
So that kind of kills it for me. Because I know in Dawn of Sorrow, if you have like a sword like that, or it's like a two-handed weapon, you actually see the animation of him like having to struggle of picking it up and then like launching it over with both hands.
Well, he's been through some shit at that point. By the time he gets to Dawn of Sorrow, he's a little weary. You know, he's
no, but I just mean like
wary, not weary.
Yeah. But they put more work into it, other than just it's like the arms like in front of him, like connected to his chest, like one of those like paper dolls.
I get that.
It's weird, but that's just a minor thing. But yeah, other than that, I'm really enjoying it. Pretty quick progress. I'm not sure even how far I am because I don't think the map determines how far you are.
I can't remember.
Because the map just determines how much you've covered of it.
Right.
And I'm like at 52%.
Yeah. Did you play Symphony of the Night?
Not enough. I've only played like the first like 20 minutes.
Okay. And you never played it, right?
I have never played a Castlevania.
But I want to play. But I want to play Rondo.
Yeah.
Before
First?
that. Just for just continuity's sake.
I guess. All right, then I'm not saying anything.
Because it wasn't Rondo on Super Nintendo?
No.
Or was that Dracula X?
Dracula X was. There's a weird thing. So, like.
Aren't they the same game?
Kind of, but also not. The Rondo that leads directly into Symphony of the Night was PC Engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of Richter. He just looked like a badass.
He's cool. So you can get Dracula X, and it's the SNES version, the one that's like on Virtual Console. I would avoid. Like, it's fine, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, you might not be, even though you're making some good progress, you might not be as far along as you think.
Okay. I figured, but they I know they did a PSP version.
Of Dracula X?
I think so.
They did.
Wasn't like a combo?
It's the Dracula X Chronicles, where they remade Dracula X in terrible 2.5D. It's really, and because it's like PSP 2006,
It's like low polygons.
It's aged very badly. But within it, you can unlock the original ROMs of, or not really ROMs, but you can the original.
The ports or whatever.
Fuck.
Do you get Symphony?
Symphony of the Night, thank you, and Dracula X.
Okay.
But I wouldn't recommend Symphony that way.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you've never really played it, you'd be fine.
Well, is it a PS1 classic?
It is.
It is.
So I can just get that.
Yeah. Because if you did the other one and you get it through Dracula X Chronicles, they re-recorded the dialogue and it's...
Oh, yeah. I remember
it's
that.
not as cheesy, so it's like it's probably better, but...
I had it on 360.
Yeah. The 360 version was fine. It was a fine port.
Okay.
And that was one of the first games I got all the achievement points for, which weren't that... It was only 200, I think, but...
Yeah.
Followed by Lego Batman, 1,000 out of 1,000.
But yeah, Aria's pretty much the one I've spent the most time with.
Yeah.
And I'm happy because it's like I haven't played a Castlevania game in so long that I missed it. Cause, I mean, it's definitely like just a lot of things about it, just like aesthetically, even like gameplay wise. I love how much of it is just, it's regarded highly.
Yeah.
It's just art. Like that's the only way I can describe it. Like the music is so iconic. Usually the cover art itself stands out. Yeah. It's very high quality.
Level design background.
So much detail. Like everything is detail.
It's really good. It's
the only thing I don't like is backtracking if you're lost.
Yeah, but even that, like, because you're
even like, crap, I've been here, but I don't want to go here and just go to this one spot and find out. I wasted all this time getting there, and I died getting there.
But then, dying's the bad part. But all the EGA games, because they incorporate all the RPG stuff and leveling up, you kind of, even when you have to backtrack, you're still, like, making some sort of progress. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes you'll get random drops that give you something weird and goofy. And
yeah, that's true.
Shit. That's too late.
What do you mean?
I want you to go back and play Symphony of the Night. Symphony's just got some great...
Why is it too late?
I mean, like, it's too late to make it Game Club pick and force you to play it this month.
I mean, I can still play it.
Yeah. But no, like, there's little things like, what is it? There's a frog. It's just like little things, like because Konami had the Ninja Turtles license. Mm-hmm. There's no turtle in the game, but I think the frog was intended to be a turtle. But when you kill the frog, you get a pizza. And like it's something that's like not played up at all. It's like just there. It's subtle. There's an item called the what are they? Secret boots, and wearing them literally changes Alucard's sprite by 1 pixel. But if you go to the item description, it just says discreetly increases height. It's like just these stupid little things that like it's just a tiny little thing that's tossed in. But yeah,
that's cool.
Symphony, though, I think that'll be interesting for you to go back after having gone through all of these and seeing where they ended up.
It's like I keep going backwards with this story.
And then have you played 1, 2, or 3, the NES ones?
I never beat them, but I've played them.
Because those, I think, too.
I played 1 the most.
Symphony was a huge homage back to the first 3.
Okay.
Where it really pulls in all of that. Because Alucard's a playable character in 3, Dracula's Curse.
Right.
The whole second half of Symphony, you're kind of going through Simon's Quest, where you're gathering all the pieces of Dracula, the eye, the tooth, the heart, whatever. There's a lot of callbacks. So, if you're approaching it a lot from the story side too, I think you'll appreciate that.
I'm not sure, because the story in Dawn, I paid attention, but not enough to really care.
Man, it was a decade ago. I don't remember any of that from.
Well, I won't say anything, but
I remember that it was a guy and he had things.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I remember playing Portrait of Ruin. I think I like that one more. I don't know. It's weird. I kind of actually no. I shouldn't say more. It's its own thing. It's hard to compare.
Portrait was the one that was in the 1900s, right? Early 1900s.
Yeah, Jonathan Morris.
Right. Yeah, the non-Belmont.
And then you have the girl with you. So she does mostly all the magic with her book. And you can switch between them because they were good against certain enemies and stuff. But I was always hoping that would be just a co-op game where I'm not sure if it might be.
I wish. Why have they not done? I don't know why they never did. They should have done.
You have the box right there, right?
Yeah. But before Konami did their bullshit, they should have done one on a console, local co-op. Would have been the best thing in the world. Can you imagine one of these where you just get to run through with a buddy? So good. So good.
It doesn't say anything about... I mean, I know there's a multi-card play because you can design your own dungeons.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you can do that in Dawn as well. You can design them and have your friends play through them.
Not anymore, though.
Well, no. I mean, you might locally, just not through Wi-Fi.
I don't remember. But I know a lot of the stuff that was relying on the Wi-Fi is done, so.
Oh, yeah, that's all gone. 1
game card per player. Broadband access required for online play.
Broadband?
Yeah. And you shouldn't play it if you haven't consulted a doctor before playing video games. Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. Oh, wait. There is a co-op mode.
There we go.
I'm not sure if it's the story mode. It might be just a small thing. You just pick a stage and just fight stuff.
PlayStation Move, BioShock Infinite, anyone? That kind of edition.
Cooperate with a friend to defeat enemies and make it to
that
the goal.
That never happened, huh?
In the shortest time possible.
Or did it go? Did they do that?
I think it was that shooting gallery, the thing. It had nothing to do with the actual
right, yeah, because
game.
everybody was picturing you'd be sky hooking and fucking Ken Levine, man.
Yep.
There's a whole nother rabbit hole. But yeah, as far as Castlevania goes, I've actually never played a Castlevania game. I was expecting some glares. I'm glad I did not get any.
No.
I do want to play Symphony of the Night, though. I do know the big thing that happens that totally changes the game, unfortunately.
You know that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Everybody knows.
So,
they're both indicating that.
I do know that, which is kind of unfortunate, but I still... a lot of people I know are saying that is a good place to start if you want to start. Yeah, and I'm always itching for a good platformer on my Vita. So PS1 Classic
it is so
to
good
the
on
Vita.
It is so good on Vita. Oh fuck.
Yeah, PS1 Classic to the Vita. That's probably going to happen this month because I want to do a good horror little month for myself.
Yeah. This one's not so spooky, but it's got...
But it's
got
that
those
gothic
elements.
tone and stuff like that.
Fuck. Oh, it's so good. It's really good.
And the one thing that I was trying to find, again, just a little detail. I remember in both Portrait and Dawn do it. I don't know about the other ones. But if there's a room where there's just chairs or something, and you hit up on a D-pad, you actually just sit in it.
Yep.
Aria doesn't do that yet.
There's a cool Easter egg... in Symphony with that, where you sit and you just kind of hang out.
Yeah.
But if you go into the wrong room where there's a dark priest, you sit on the other side of the where's the place where you tell your secrets? Confessional booth.
Yeah.
If you do it in the wrong room, just a bunch of bloody axes and knives come out and stab the shit out of you.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's a fun one to look out for. You'll forget about that by the time you go and play it.
And I know and Jonathan Moore's had a couple taunts that were like Michael Jackson inspired. Oh, God. That's great. I think that might have been in the multiplayer game. The Harmony of
oh my God.
Dissonance.
Yeah. Harmony of Dissonance.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good game. Kind of. Mostly.
So, I don't care if he's not a Belmonte school.
Yeah, sure, I guess. Yeah, I played a little bit of those Castlevanias too.
Yeah.
I've been doing like a random string of Castlevanias before I like swirl into one, but I've kind of played a Castlevania thing for about a half hour or so on every platform that I have. But I just kept jumping between a whole bunch of them, just getting into the.
I can't do that. I have to like be set on one.
I'm more doing it like not in a progression because both of these that I have on GBA, I mean I have in the middle of a save file on each, so I just kind of jump back into where I was just to like get the taste for it again. Mm-hmm. What did I played some of 3 for a minute, like just little bits here and there to get excited. But I'm gonna dive fully into Aria. I think I need to get that on Virtual Console because playing on this without a backlight is
yeah.
Fuck.
Let me get that SP.
I know. I should just go buy an SP. Maybe I'll go buy an SP.
Soon enough.
I know. But I also played something that's kind of like Castlevania that's not at all like Castlevania, which I've already talked about. I'm not going to beat to death
again.
But just to put this thing back to hell.
Slain it already.
I see what you did there.
Yes. I don't think I'm going to go back to Slain anymore, but I reviewed Slain, which you can read the review on thefreecheese.com. I think I was pretty fair with the review.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing new to me that you haven't said already.
But numerically speaking?
Yeah, I mean, that's for you. It's good.
Okay.
I mean, I can't judge it personally, but I trust your judgment on it. So.
All right. Yeah, I give it a 2 out of 5. It's just not a good game.
That's okay.
It's beautiful, and I want it to be much better than it is. But
there's 5 stars for a reason. You have the option to go to 2 or 1 or none.
I know. To me, none is just fuck you. 1 is like, this game is really bad, and there's nothing good about it. Don't go near it at all. Yeah. Leave it alone. That's more like a half star.
And like a 2 could come off as harsh if you didn't read all the context before it.
Yeah.
Because it was like you wanted it to be so much more. It has all this potential, but it feels kind of not wasted, but like just not properly utilized.
It's just there's no depth to it, you know, and like especially in a month where we're talking about Castlevania and
it looks like it could have had it, just by looking at it.
But like we're talking about how great like all these games are and how elevated the platforming is and how fantastic the combat systems, and you're talking about like unique animations in Dawn of Sorrow and like all these great things, and like this has
once you see it, you're gonna be like, man,
I know, but this has 2 animations, and this is exactly what this suffers from. Is like there's one for jump, but like he just locks into position. It's like it's like just give him something to make him look like he's falling through the air. Like there's just no.
It's not smooth. And
that'd be fine if that was the type of game that it is. But if you look at the backgrounds, the way that flowers just sort of billow in the wind, there's so much attention to detail that
he headbangs like it's that's smooth.
Just
hair moving around.
Okay, and again,
that's probably where all the work I've put
little
into.
Tiny touches like navigating through the menu, and you hear like the chug 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 every time you like move. It sounds like a guitar. Like it's just like cool. It's fuck. I don't know. The puzzles are not puzzles. They're just like jump these 2 things, these platforms that don't feel good to jump on, and then get killed way too fast by something because we don't know how to balance AI. It was a lot of that. Like it
just sounds rough all around.
Yeah, and it
rough on the edges.
The fucked up thing is like this is back from hell. They pulled it from Steam and remade it, not remade it, but they fixed it and then put it back out. And this is
not too many things look so great when they come back from hell.
Fuck.
So
I quit. I did, however, spend some time with. Did I talk about this on the air last week? Azure Striker Gunvolt 2. No. Or did I just talk to you about it?
I think it was just talk to me about it.
Great. Yeah, because I don't think I had.
I don't think you had it yet.
Yeah. So I got a review code for Azure Striker Gunvolt 2.
You're going to do that every time, aren't you?
You were telling me about this.
Azure Striker Gunvolt 2. I don't know how to say this. Azure Striker Gunvolt 2. Azure Striker Gunvolt.
Just say Gunvolt 2.
So Gunvolt 2 is a game I've been playing. It's really good. It's from Inti Creates as the developer. Behind the Mega Man Zero series, some of the other Mega Man games. They did the Mega Man 9 and 10 when they kicked it back to the 8-bit style. And they famously did the fantastic Mighty Number 9 that came out earlier this year. Or was it last year? Or was it the year before? No, those are the years they were meant to come out. It was this year, just a month or two ago. And
I knew not to answer.
That's the fucked up thing about this about Gunvolt 2 is that it is really good, and it looks really good, and it plays really good, and it sounds really good. So what the fuck went wrong with Mighty Number 9?
Is it different teams? Is it A team, B team type
I don't
thing?
know.
But then my question is, that's the thing. Why have the B team on the
high profile game?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe the B team's actually the better team.
But
They
also,
did
like,
Gunvolt.
don't...
A team was...
You know, interestingly enough, the A team made Castlevania 64. The B team made Symphony of the Night. Which one do we like better? So sometimes the B team does the better work. But from what I recall, Inafune said that it's just not possible to do Mighty Number 9 in a sprite style. That we have to do this 2.5D.
It's just not possible.
In this day and age, it's not possible to do that. And
for him to say that, though, is bullshit.
I don't know if this is... I might be misquoting. This was years ago. I just remember...
That's why I'm misquoting. But if it's confirmed that he said that, then...
I know.
It's bullshit.
But I remember saying that... And again, like... Koji Igarashi with Bloodstained.
Yeah.
Same development team, Inti Creates.
Yeah.
But same thing of... Hey, it would cost too much to hire a traditional pixel artist. And he gave a very thorough reason, saying that... right now, to hire one in Japan would cost more than it would to do this type of thing. Because the people that we had that did that kind of stuff back at Konami have moved on. A lot of the folks that were at Konami that hadn't been able to make a game for 6 years because Konami kept Igarashi and his whole team locked in a basement somewhere and they fed them old bones every couple days.
Old wall
they all left and they started, like some of them are completely out of the video game business. So he said to find someone that does good pixel art in 2016 is difficult and expensive. I know you're making a face.
Yeah.
They're
just not looking hard enough.
I don't know. I don't make the rules.
I mean, he just said in Japan, so.
But still, it's here. Gunvolt 2 is all sprite based and it's all beautiful sprite work.
Yeah.
It's cool. So, did you play the first one at all?
I played a demo of the first one.
Yes.
I liked it. It's just I kind of felt like I didn't need to play the rest of the game to get the concept.
Yeah, but no, you don't. Once you get it, you get it. Like you play one level and you get the rest.
I think it just wasn't like ready for that kind of game.
That's how the first one was for me.
Like when I was playing it. I mean, I still want to play it. It still looks good. Like I said before, I want to get the double pack that just came out.
You're a physical man? You like a physical media? Matt's shaking his head no. Well, then if you are, then yeah, get that double pack. Comes with both of them.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's both of them in one.
Is it digital too? Or is it...
I don't think so. Yeah.
I have one game on disc, and I've had it for 9 months, and I keep forgetting I have it. And I finally remembered I had it about a week ago, and I started it. The Order.
Oh, The Order 1886. Old Werewolves in London. Yeah, that...
Slowly getting through it.
It's a slog?
I just not in the mood for it. I think I'm still kind of forcing myself to play it, hoping it picks up. But I think before I know it, it's going to end on me.
It's...
I haven't heard.
But no, not to distract you from. What we're talking about.
Yeah, no. The first one came out, and immediately when you jump into, I wrote a preview the other night for Gunvolt 2, as I prepare for the review. But you the first one, it's like, hi, here's cutscene. Here's dialogue. It's like, oh my god, just
Mega Man Zero was like that with the first one. It was a little heavy, but
like,
I didn't mind it.
can I play the fucking game? And then you kind of get into it, and you're like, cool, and you run like down a corridor, and it's like, hey, don't forget, you can press this to do this, and you can press down it. And I'm like, oh fuck, I just want to play the and I stopped playing it. But this one, because I got a review code, I was like, oh yeah, I should check it out. And I was like, I never finished that one. And then I jumped into it, and the first 10, 15 minutes, you press A to skip the dialogue boxes more than you hit anything to do combat. But what I found that, and this is the interesting piece I put in my preview, is that it kind of made me stop being a dick, where, like, hey, maybe the dialogue's here for a reason. Maybe because they want me to read it, and they want me to enjoy the story. So why not?
I mean, everything's intentional.
I know. For me, I'm always like, fuck this game, let me change it. I want it to be what I want it to be. And it's like, well, maybe it's not supposed to be what I want it to be.
You just want to get straight to the action.
Right, which sounds hypocritical coming from my complaints of Slain, but that's a different game. But this is like, you know, they kind of, I went back and like replayed some sections so that I could get back into the story, and it's like, oh, this is cool. And like, it's fully voice acted in Japanese with English subtitles, and it's like, cool, I get to hear these cool people talk, and I get to read this cool translation, and it's, I don't know, it's just good. It's
like playing an anime.
Yeah. And that's never been my like aesthetic, but I'm like, fuck it, let's expose myself to something new and weird and different. Like it's cool. It's a different thing, and I like it. And it's really fun. Every stage is basically, it's very Mega Man-esque if you're looking for that kind of thing. So you're kind of running through different areas of a stage. It's all set up, you know, it's very linear, but it feels more like a maze, and everything's, the way the camera is, it's very tight in on you, so you don't get to see the whole thing. And it feels like you're just kind of meandering, which you are. And then combat is solid. The enemies, it's a Mega Man game. You know what I mean? Like they're there, but they don't really pose any threat unless you're bad at the game, which it's hard to be bad at the game because you're really overpowered. At least at first.
Yeah, just minor obstacles.
Yeah, a little bit. The boss battles are where like the fun comes in, the challenge comes in, because you kind of have to observe their patterns and, you know, react to them in different ways. And
well, that's never changed.
Yeah, but it's if that's the type of game you're looking for, grab it. Whether you're getting Gunvolt 2 or 1 on 3DS, 1 has also been released for Steam, and then the demake of 1, Mighty Gunvolt, where you can play as Beck from Mighty Number 9.
That's okay.
Is out on a lot more. I don't know why they put the demake out on a lot more, but that's on like PS4 and Vita.
I don't know. They seem to go for demakes lately. At least with, I mean, Capcom did too.
Yeah.
But like with what was that one? The guy with the jetpack. It's like Rocketeer type game. Something Zero.
I was about to say Jetpack Joyride.
I forget the name of it, but to pitch that, like they're pitching a demake of it more than the actual game. Dark Void. Yeah, like it was pretty much like Rocketeer the game.
Yeah.
But you just see this guy, jetpack, helmet, the gun, flying around, shooting stuff, and it looks really cool as like the 3D game, and then like the 2D game is more like a Mega Man-esque type thing, and yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of done with the NES Mega Man sprites being used as a model for everything.
Yeah, well, you know, nostalgia's
it's lazy.
an easy thing. Well, it's not lazy in this game. This game's real.
Yeah, I want to try that because Gunvolt 2 has like the other character you can play as like his rival or whatever.
In
Gunvolt 2.
Oh, yeah. Gunvolt 2, you add...
He has like white hair.
Yeah, the rival... As soon as I saw him, I was just like...
No, you weren't.
I swear, honestly, I promise you, as soon as I started playing Gunvolt 2, the first one you play as the, you know, titular Gunvolt. Second one you can play as Gunvolt or... I don't remember his name. Whatever.
What if I was just slowly growing my hair out to be Gunvolt?
As soon as I start playing, and you can play as this dude, I like that dude better. Just you know,
it's basically like the Zero or Proto Man of
basically the Zero or Proto Man. But he's very much. As soon as it happened, I was like, Copen is his name. Mark. It was like this. Yep, this is exactly like Mark's gonna do this.
Is
And
he
it's
more?
not-
Is he more of a melee?
No, they're both really similar. Like the combat doesn't vary much outside of a few things until you unlock things later on, which then I believe it starts to get a little more varied. They have some unique abilities, but it's still just hold Y to shoot your bullets and then press R to do some crazy big attack.
You might enjoy the Mega Man Zero games actually.
Yeah, I've played them like in small bites, never a full.
I mean, like, one is very, like, it's a lot in the beginning. Just to navigate where to go, because it's like you go to a station for everything. So if you want to upgrade your weapons, or you want to, like, heal or save or, like, whatever, there's a different floor for it in this little underground station. But I think they all kind of have that, but the first one just, like, introduces you to it a lot, and it takes forever to get past.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, the second or third one, I would recommend. More so the third one. I think that is the better part of the story. I didn't play the fourth one yet, but, like, just the weapons, that's cool. You can upgrade those. And I think might be the third one. They introduce a whip.
Wow,
It's like a bladed whip type thing.
Oh, I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up pictures just to show Matt and Mark. Am I losing my voice now? Is that what's happening tonight? But you can see the sprite work is really, really. It looks like an old GBA game, but in modern.
Yeah, like a little better polished.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. Like, it's a solid game. I'd recommend it if you're looking for that kind of stuff.
Also, kind of want to play the Shantae series.
Shantae didn't do it for me. I got them in like a humble bundle.
Oh, I never even touched like the original.
I got the one on Wii U, and
Pirate's Curse, I think.
Sure, it's fine. It's just
a little platformer.
Yeah, I would say it's maybe a Marc Game. But yeah,
I'm expecting like a neon sign of this at some point.
It'll happen. That'll be what we'll have hanging kind of here.
Just light it up.
Yeah,
just pink and blue.
I wonder how much it would cost us to get a neon sign.
Probably not that much.
Because when we go video, we're gonna have to have that as a backdrop, so that every time we talk about a Marc Game, we can pull. Yeah, exactly.
I would love a neon cheese. That'd be great.
Listeners,
you don't even need the words.
You could do it with those hue lights. The string lights. You spell it out and just change the colors.
All right, so somebody...
That's how you do it.
Open a Patreon for us.
Yeah.
And then the rest of you give us money for that Patreon. And then we'll get a cheese light and...
No, Patreon for free cheese, and then we'll kickstart the sign.
Perfect.
We'll just go on Etsy and...
Find someone who's already done it.
Just request one.
We'll find maybe there's a listener out there who's a neon man. You a neon man or lady? Give me a call. Let me know about your neon things that you make. You can email us podcast@thefreecheese.com.
Subject neon.
Subject neon, comma or colon. I've got it. Period. Do you want it? Question mark. Send that, and in the body, just send me pictures of your previous neon work. What you charge. Got to be less than $50 for this. And then there you go. Then we'll send you a T-shirt. Yeah. Sound good?
We need a Patreon for the T-shirt.
All right, yeah. So we'll do a Patreon for the T-shirts also, and then we'll get you all of that. I say we take a little break, and when we get back, we have some time left for show and tell. You both good with that?
Good.
Cool. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Free Cheese episode 166. I have a question, just for the room.
No.
For the listeners who we know where they work, because we know what our audience is. And also for the universe, because I'd like to know where's the NX?
I don't know, but I was going to give it to you.
It's really, like, it is October 5th as of the time of this recording, and we've got nothing.
I think the only other rumor that I've heard is that there might be something on the 18th.
Why the 18th?
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong number here, but
No, it's okay.
What day is the 18th?
It's Tuesday.
that would make sense.
No, that is the 5th.
I mean, I just know that just because I'm stupid and I memorized all the days in this month already. I don't know that. I just no, I just had to do schedule stuff. But yeah,
But I just heard maybe something this month at least.
I'd be
Didn't
fine.
they say that last month?
But they never said anything. All they've said officially.
Actually, I kind of want them not to say anything, and it just releases.
No,
It's just Sega Saturn.
No, they can't do that.
That was the Sega Saturn that did that, right?
Yeah, right. You can't do.
That went well for Sega.
Or like the day they announce it is the day it's in stores.
But if that's the case,
So if there's like a direct
we can't.
dedicated
You
to
can't.
it,
But we're in a different time. We're in 2016. So the day they announce it and the day
they
it's
did it
in
with the
stores.
360.
Yeah, we're in 2016. This should already be leaked.
No, but that's the thing. Like by the time it starts getting into the retail channels, like we'd know about it because
I'm glad it's not leaked.
some dong who works at whatever warehouse is gonna go picture, and then it's out there.
Isn't Amazon France usually, or no, like South Africa, Amazon? Like one of them is always a culprit for leaking these types of
They're
things.
all pretty good at it, yeah. France always does game releases, whereas I think South Africa is always like hardware revisions and weird shit. But I was thinking, so Friday there's a game called Paper Mario Color Splash coming out, and really that's the last big Wii U title. Period. So I'm thinking,
Is that a Wii U game?
yes.
I thought it was a 3DS game.
Nope. Sticker Star was 3DS. Now Color Splash, Wii U. I thought it was 3DS for a while too, but yeah.
That
Wii
makes a lot of sense now with all the marketing.
So now we get. This is really the last big Wii U thing. Do you think maybe they put this out Friday? Send the Wii U off to its Viking funeral. We color splash it into the death, and then
Have it slain.
never again. We're done with that. That's it. But maybe next week.
You're just too eager and hopeful at this point. When the news comes, the news comes.
Here's the problem. I wake up every morning. Every morning I wake up, and before I even reach and grab my glasses, I grab my phone. As I turn off my alarm, and my alarm, in order to turn it off, I've got to slide up. So I do that, and then I slide up and I move my finger right back down to the home button, press that home button, and then I go right to Twitter, and I scroll up to the top, and I look to see if the top... All right, Twitter's not reacting. The top tweet says anything about NX, and then I scroll through a couple, and then it doesn't. Okay, we go over to Reddit, and then I go to N, and then there's nothing. Anytime that I get a text message, like that one day you texted me, because I texted you.
Oh, you thought it was a
I texted
NX
Mark.
thing.
So I text Mark something. It was the Legend of Zelda statues that are really, really cool.
It was a Twilight Princess Figma thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, that looks awesome.
So I text him to Mark, and I'm wearing my watch. So Mark texts me back, and all I see is his text that just says, holy fuck. And it had been maybe an hour since I had texted him these things, but I'm already like, what happened? What? Oh shit, is it here? And then, and I open up the thread, and I'm like, oh, because I sent him the thing. But now I'm at the point where I can't have a fucking conversation with a friend without thinking. And one day you texted me, and I just saw it popped up and it said Mark. And then it was another, because you were sending it was you sent me something, and then oh wait, but this, and then but I'm thinking you're texting me exclamation points. And
I
the
send
word
messages
NX.
the way how I talk. I won't do one big paragraph. I'll do just little blurts,
and
then it all together is one paragraph.
Any other of the days, but the closer we get to nothing, it's I'm losing it. And Reggie,
Maybe it's just me because I'm not. You're going to pre-order it the first thing that comes out. I need to see what this is.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for a direct that's dedicated to it.
I actually have two Wii's in my house. One in the living room and one in my that was a mistake that my parents
We
made.
all
But
got
whatever.
one right now at this table.
But I do have a Wii U at the house, and I've told you this. First of all, it sat in the box for months. It was a Christmas gift. Sat in the box for months. And I was like, you know what? I want to play some Mario Maker levels. turn it on. First of all, of course, now you just can't plug and play anything. Everything has to be updated and downloaded and all that good stuff. So, after about that hour and a half investment, I was like, all right, let's do this Mario Maker. And that tutorial started, and I was like, I don't want to build a level. I just want to play a level. And it had me build the level. I was like, nope, I'm done. I unplugged everything. That was my 15 minutes with the Wii U.
You gotta go back.
That
Especially at this point.
No, because now I got to update it again. It's going to be another hour and a half.
That sounds like my 15 minutes with Mass Effect.
Oh, well.
Oh.
Very first one. Yeah, I'm going there.
Oh.
I never played it, so who
First
cares?
one.
Well, no, the series.
I'm saying you're not going to offend me.
That's
so
fine.
Lay it out.
No, but the series is so acclaimed for like its story and the way it progresses on depending on like your choices you make and all this stuff. Except for the one choice that it forces you into in the beginning. Maybe I don't want to be a Reaper. Maybe
what?
I think it's a Reaper. Is that what it is?
You're not wrong.
I don't know.
Reapers are the enemies.
No. It's not Reaper. Right. It's Spectre, I think.
Oh.
Just in the very beginning, pretty much like whatever Commander Shepard becomes.
Yeah, he becomes a Spectre. After he... What? I forget the first event that happens, but I think he saves someone or he found something.
Yeah. You're at some plaza place, and then they're like, you got to become a Spectre.
The Citadel.
Yeah, and I'm like, no. It's like, no, you don't have a choice. You're being one. And it's like, no. And you're forced to be one. I'm like, all right, fuck this game. And I turned it off.
You do realize that becoming the Spectre is like the main point of this, that the game's story going forward. Like,
I was told I had a choice.
Hold on. Wait. Because both of you are doing the same thing. You're saying, hey, you should realize that the whole point of the game is this. But you turned off Super Mario Maker because it asks you to make a Mario level. So it
wasn't exactly asking. It was like, it was asking with quotes. But it's like, no, you don't have a choice. And I get it. I mean, I was just being a difficult smartass with that game.
It sounds like you guys are very much one of the
same
person.
Because I played the demo of Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, again, I've never really played the series, never owned any of the titles. But, like, I remember playing the first one for a bit. Because, like, I wanted to make a character in the first one, transfer it to 2, transfer it to 3. I didn't want to make one from scratch in 2. Even though I heard 2 was, like, the better one.
And 2 had, like, a comic book at the beginning or something, right?
I was about to kind of go there.
Yeah.
Did you have it? Did you play on Xbox or?
Yeah, Xbox.
So the Mass Effect 2 you had was the Xbox version, correct?
Oh, the demo was, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Because the PlayStation release got a different treatment. Now, remember, originally the first Mass Effect was not.
PS3.
Right.
Yeah, it was published
Xbox
by
exclusive.
Microsoft.
Right.
Even though it was a BioWare EA game.
Right.
Or no, BioWare. Then BioWare, I believe, was bought by EA. Is that how that worked?
Sure.
I
It's been too
don't
long
know
now.
the whole thing there.
Isn't
but
that fucking weird? You know, like half a decade
EA
ago.
is the publisher, yeah, BioWare.
But I'm saying, like, half a decade ago, this kind of thing we were all so flipping out about, and here we are now, like, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
So, yeah, EA got the publishing rights, and of course, like a third party would put it on their consoles. However, it came late to Sony, but what they did for Sony people, the Mass Effect 2 actually ran in the Mass Effect 3 engine on Sony. So it played better.
Right.
And to catch people up, they did that comic, and I believe Dark Horse did the interactive comic. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty cool. It was a lot of information to take in like 15, 20 minutes, but it definitely set the stage, and that's how I started. I never played 1 because I actually went back to 1 after completing 2 and 3, and it's
not pretty.
Rough.
It's not pretty.
Rough.
Because you basically read through the comic and make the choices that you made in 1 there.
Yeah, I think it pretty much does a really good job of explaining the story, and then there's 5 pivotal moments it has you choose from.
Yeah.
And those, one of them is a main character through 2 and 3.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, there's some pretty pivotal things. The only thing was, like...
I mean, a lot of it was spoiled for me, so...
The only thing with the comic was there was a lot of backstory that, character development was a big part of that. Like, choosing between 2 characters for the rest of the games with knowing their names 10 seconds ago was, like, not ideal. But when I went back to that part in Mass Effect 1, I was like, oh, this has a little bit more emotional impact.
Yeah.
But like, I would just love it where a game where it's like, hey, you gotta be the savior of the galaxy. I'm like, nah. And they're like, okay. And then the credits.
That's kind of what you did.
That's what happened in my end of the Mass Effect.
I would love
3.
if they actually wrote that in where you had the option to actually say no, and then it just went right to the credits. It was like, well, there's no game. That's what happened.
If you would have kept playing for 80 more hours and got to the end of 3, that was one of the endings. That was the one I got. I didn't get any of the color palettes. I just kept questioning the little man at the end. And then I was like, well, what if I don't want to do any of these things? He was like, fine. And then the credits started rolling. I was like, what is this?
But because during the break we were talking about Stick of Truth. How, the final mission. The one that you don't have a choice but to go inside of a...
you go to the giant tree house.
Yeah.
Who took it over? Was it? I can't remember the
Clyde?
Yeah, I think it was
Clyde. but if you refuse this mission, if you walk outside of the treehouse, automatically stock footage of the atom bomb.
The
mushroom cloud happens.
Yeah.
And he came over. I was like, this is what I want. I want more stuff like this in games where it's like, if you try to go the other way, then there is something does happen.
Yeah.
Not just you're forced to say yes.
Yeah. Could you reload your save if the bomb went off?
Yeah, because I did it on PC. It was like the great thing about that was there was no load time in between that scene loading up. So consoles had like wait a little bit, but because of that, like I was telling him, without that wait, it made it so much funnier because it was just instant. It was just
so good.
First step out the door.
Oh man, are you buying Paper Mario?
Nah.
I think I'm gonna get it. I don't know. I kind of want to send the Wii U off with a nice, But that one, I haven't played a Paper Mario game since the first one, and I think
I wanted to play the one for the Wii, where you could transition between 2D and 3D.
Yeah.
Because I'm like the writing in those games are superb.
Have you seen the writing in this one?
Yeah, like it's funny.
It's good.
And because one for the Wii, it had the same type of writing.
Yeah.
And I love that. And you could play as multiple characters in the Wii one. You could be Bowser for some parts, Peach for some parts, and it was kind of funny.
Yeah, we'll find out. Friday. Tomorrow. I'm scrolling back through our conversation to see. Yeah, here's a screenshot that I found where Toad's talking to Mario, and it says, "This train is bound for Kiwano Temple. I'm going to follow it, but first I need to find some place to cry about my life for a while." Just like, what the fuck? That kind of sold me on it right away.
I wonder if that's like only like an English script thing, or is that also in Japanese?
I don't know. I'll find out. Except I won't. Yeah, I know. Not at all.
Find out tomorrow.
Yeah. It is time for a little segment we call Show and Tell, where we each go through something that happened this week, whether it was a news story or something that we just happened upon in our own individual lives. We bring it here and we talk about it. I'm going to start with one. Rolling Stone.
Magazine.
Well, I think the website,
Yeah.
the rollingstone.coms, they posted an interview with a man named Hidetaka Miyazaki. Familiar?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go through, obviously, and read verbatim what they wrote.
At least the last name is familiar.
So this is the man who runs From Software currently.
Okay.
He has become...
I wasn't sure if it was the other...
The animation one? Yeah. No, this is the video game Miyazaki. And he's obviously famously known and attached to Demons, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne.
Blood Souls.
Blood Souls. Born Souls. Souls Born. I don't like when people call it Souls Born. Slain back from hell? But I did want to point out, so there's a couple of neat things that are in here. Lately, From Software, Miyazaki have shown up in the news specifically for like, hey, we talked to Miyazaki and they have 3 projects they're working on, and one of them sounds like it might be Armored Core and another one sounds like it might be Bloodborne 2, but we're not sure and who knows. And this was different from that. It was not like at all probing for any of that information.
I would love to play Armored Core.
I thought Armored Core was confirmed.
I think at TGS it finally was confirmed that they are making a new Armored Core.
We still think that the hints of Bloodborne 2 are still rumors and hints. And then we still, I think 3 is a new IP altogether. Right.
And he said 3, the third thing is like very weird for them. Like people are going to see it and they're going to be like, Did you guys
Something
make
that's like not a third person kick you in the balls over and over again.
it? Yeah, like apparently it's a
Bust
brand
a
new.
move.
But because Dark Souls always gets a certain comparison, this interviewer asked the question. He said, many journalists over the years have said that the Souls games, from Demons on up through Bloodborne and Dark Souls, is what The Legend of Zelda should have evolved into. How do you feel about that comparison? Miyazaki says, when I was a student, The Legend of Zelda was truly monumental. So to be perfectly honest, I feel deeply unworthy of the comparison. The Legend of Zelda and Dark Souls are different games belonging to different genres, though, and they're guided by different concepts of game design. They don't need to aspire to the same ideals. If there are similarities, they probably stem from the fact that The Legend of Zelda became sort of textbook for 3D action games. Thoughts?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree on all of that.
For me, I feel like Bloodborne is definitely the evolution of Castlevania. Like, if Konami hadn't bailed out in, this generation, I feel like that's what Castlevania could have become with Bloodborne.
Patchy slot.
But Dark Souls, I think I'd want Zelda, or could maybe. Breath of the Wild seems like a good evolution of Zelda.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I feel like I shouldn't speak for Zelda fans, but to ignorantly generalize it.
Sure. That's what we're here for.
I think what a lot of people want out of Zelda is the realism of a game like Dark Souls.
See, I always interpreted that the other way. Not so much the realism, but
and also like more advanced combat and
the pure aggression, and the fact that if you play the original Zelda on NES, you take 2 steps, and if you don't have a sword, you're dead. If you get that sword and you don't hit the right way, then you're dead. And it's a lot of learning from your mistakes, which is what this game is very much harkening back to. Mario running forward and seeing a Goomba and not jumping and running into it, and then you're back at the beginning.
Yeah, the gameplay-wise, definitely no hand-holding. Just want to explore. Like, exploring is the main thing.
Exploration through wandering, or rather, like, learning through
everything's just
gameplay.
intuitive.
Right.
But then, like, aesthetically, I think people also want a more grittier, more realistic-looking feel, because I noticed that when Wind Waker and Twilight Princess were coming out, there was, like, a divide.
Yeah.
You were either a Wind Waker fan or, like, a Twilight Princess fan. For just for the aesthetics alone. Not the gameplay. Like people avoided Wind Waker because of its cartoony look, and they hated it. They bashed it. It was a kiddie game.
What did they call it? There was Zelda.
Oh, because cell shading.
Yeah.
Zelda.
Zelda was a bad thing.
Yeah, but I like both of them. So I was just like, I didn't see a problem. And then when Skyward Sword came out, I was like, this is like the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
aesthetically, because you have your adult Link that everybody wants, but then it's like a nice, like, painted feel, like, sort of cartoony, because if you pause the game at any moment, like, in the background, it straight up looks like a painting, like, on a canvas.
I need to they just put that on Virtual Console.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, maybe I'll play that. Maybe, you know what, since I can't play Breath of the Wild at Thanksgiving, maybe I'll make Skyward Sword my,
As long as you have a Motion Plus controller.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, so, I mean, like the game's actually not that bad. Like, it gives context to, like, it's the most character-developed Link and Zelda.
Yeah.
Out of all of them.
I feel like I should play it. I haven't.
It gives you a reason to care about Zelda. The only thing I don't like is, probably what most people don't like, is like the backtracking between the lands, because it's not that many. You go between the same 3 places like a couple times and it gets a little tedious. But other than that, it's really not that bad of a game.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt, anything on that one? I mean, just that piece of the.
No, I agree with what he's saying. I think you kind of have 2 separate audiences here at the same time too. Like that, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, like all of them. That is a very hardcore audience right there.
Yeah.
You don't want. I mean, the hardcore audience would want something like that from Zelda, but I don't think Nintendo would be smart to make Zelda that gritty, hard ass, hardcore game.
Yeah, that would.
Your little 10-year-old Pete is gonna be like,
"Whole 10-year-old Pete,
what am I playing? This is hard. Like it's hard for me as a 24-year-old to get through the first area of Demon Souls. That's the only thing. Souls, Bloodborne.
Yeah, I
played through the first area of Demon Souls, and I shockingly beat the first boss in the first try. Don't know how I did that.
Not me.
But yeah, yeah, those are tough games, and I don't think Nintendo is going to want a more mainstream aspect from it. just because it's a wider audience. Not saying that they're going to mainstream the game. They're still going to make it unique and fun. And Breath of the Wild looks good from what I've seen. So I'm talking like aesthetically.
Yeah.
So I like where they're going with the style, but I think it's important to kind of remember these are two different audiences you're talking about.
Yeah. He followed up. There's a lot more to this. I'm not going to go through it, but these are just the first two questions. The interviewer says Zelda producer Eiji Aonuma thinks it's a, quote, a sin to let players get lost in a game, and that has ultimately led to the series holding players' hands throughout. Conversely, the Souls games give players very little in the way of instruction or direction. You don't even implement a map in-game. Why? And Miyazaki says, our goal was to allow players to do what they want, define their goals, make their own discoveries, embrace their own values, and find their own interpretations. Core to that was the importance of getting lost. This gives value and meaning to finding one's way. Also, we're just not very nimble when it comes to giving good guidance, and rather than try to overcome our own shortcomings, we decided to focus on things that we were good at. Which, that last bit, kind of insightful, and like, you don't typically hear people talking like, in that kind of way, like that kind of like very much inside baseball, but that like, hey, we're not good at doing this, so we did something, like that's why we didn't do a guiding thing. But that too, when I first played through Bloodborne, because that was really my first, I played some of Demon Souls too, but I didn't get through the first boss.
So the only reason I played Demon Souls was because it was free on PlayStation Plus that month.
Yep. I kept like almost buying it. Like I remember picking it up in Best Buy and staring at it and going like, no, it's really hard, isn't it? And I put it down and then it was free and I was like, oh, well, why not? And I got to a point and like I ran up some stairs and died and ran up them again and died again and then...
You didn't care at first. I think I remember you having like a very...
This was Demon Souls.
Yeah, I mean, just for those type of games in general, I think you had a sour taste at first.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
And then it probably wasn't, I think...
It was Bloodborne.
Yeah, because it was when we had Chris on.
Yeah, because Chris... Like, Demon Souls was always a Chris game to me. Where it's just like...
Copyright.
Trademark, yeah, copyright.
Has to be
copyright, yeah. But like, Chris, Matt, and listeners who haven't listened for a long time, Chris plays everything that comes out. Like,
yeah.
If you look at the new release list, it's like, Chris he has all of them. And if you look at him while he's playing, you're like, what's Chris play? Oh, of course he's playing all of that at once somehow, and he has all the trophies and all of it. That's Chris. Like, he's also like a full-time teacher at grad school and in grad school simultaneously. He's just a magic little boy. But And they were always like, yes, these are games that Chris plays, and I am never going to be there, and that's okay, and I'm fine with that. But this is not for me.
Yeah.
And then him and Dave got way into Dark Souls 2, and they wrote a really nice piece on the site, like talking about their experience with Dark Souls 2. And I still just didn't... It was that part the aesthetic, part the fear of something that's terribly difficult. And then Bloodborne gets announced, and I'm like, ooh, something's like it was getting in there in the good parts of my body, and it just...
You know what's weird? I felt the same way about Neo.
Really? Yeah. It just, there's something about it where you're like, all this time, all this stuff, it doesn't really work for me.
Yeah.
And then you try it, and it's like, it still doesn't really work for me. And then you see it, and it's like, oh, shit. It was like, oh, this is spooky and weird, and this is kind of what I want.
Yeah.
And then I just blindly bought Bloodborne when it came out. And like 2 seconds in, you walk into that first room, the stupid werewolf's there ready to eat your face, and I tried to beat him with my fists, not knowing. I didn't get...
I think I did the same thing.
I didn't get the weapon.
Is that the boss you're supposed to die?
No, not the boss.
Oh.
It's like, it's a fucking thing that's just there at the very beginning. You're supposed to run past him.
Yeah. Like you're just inside of a house, and he's like on a table or something.
Yeah, he's like eating a dead body. You're supposed to run past him or die so that you can
go to the hub world.
Right.
And, yeah.
I didn't do that. And even when I went to the hub world, I went back and didn't know that there were weapons on the stairs. I didn't get a weapon in that game for like 3 hours. I was running around fisting people.
That's the best way.
That sounds great, by the way.
But the Bloodborne, something about it just kind of, and I got into it, and you wander through it for a bit, and I remember just like feeling very, very overwhelmed in terms of like where I'm going. Like,
I still kind of get that feeling from those games.
Yeah, but here's the beauty of it. You get so overwhelmed in an area, and you start wandering, and you make so much progression, and it all feels very much like you're going, across a straight line, and then you die. You're like, oh my god, all that fucking way that I just went. You have to go all the way back through that whole thing and kill everything you just killed all over again. And you make it a little bit further, and you die again, and you keep doing it. And then when you come around here, you realize that you've just made this big circle. And there's all of these little shortcuts that you didn't see because you weren't looking for them.
Or you unlock a gate to go forward. Yep.
Yeah, and like you start opening up all this shit, and you realize the world's really rather small. And it's like, then it's this his whole idea of like, hey, we're not good at showing guidance through games, but we can give you all these little pockets. And then like traveling through those pockets encourages you to explore in a new way, and it gave a whole new life to this game. And the style of game where now I'm not afraid of it. Like, I still am, but I'm not. And that I don't know. I would recommend going and reading that, obviously, because it's really good. But it's not that long, really. But some insightful stuff. I really From Software has become one of my absolute favorite software companies.
I mean, I'm sure that's agreed among a lot of people.
Yeah, but someone like the Armored Core series never really grabbed me. Played a demo disc on PS1.
I've never played one.
But I'm fucking anything they put out now. Like I still haven't gone back to Dark Souls just because I don't know if the aesthetic's right for me.
From what I heard for those, I heard the third one is the best polished one.
Yeah, I was just talking to Ben, and he was telling me he's playing Dark Souls 1. On PC, and he said you can definitely feel where they learned from this, and it's really slow going back to it. But
I have the second one on PC, but I didn't get far.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll come back around to Bloodborne. I think I have a prediction that PlayStation's going to have some kind of flash sale later this month, where I'm going to grab, hopefully, Until Dawn and Bloodborne for less than $50.
Yep,
that's my theory.
I think so.
I think Bloodborne standard is $20 now.
Is it really?
Perfect. Then let's make that goal 40.
I remember seeing the game in store somewhere, and it was $20.
Well, didn't it come out with the DLC? Isn't there like a Game of the Year edition probably now?
That might be a higher price.
All right. Well, Game of the Year edition, Bloodborne, Until Dawn.
Yep.
Somewhere between $40 and $50.
Yep.
I'd
be down.
Because I know. Wait, what was the latest DLC on Bloodborne?
The only DLC
was
the Old Hunters.
Yeah, I heard that was phenomenal. That.
Yeah. I just bought it. That's the cool thing, right? Like, even though, again, Konami doesn't make Castlevania games anymore, there's still, a bunch of Castlevania games I haven't played, and that's my favorite thing in the whole world.
Which is why part of me wants to get the Witcher Game of the Year one or whatever, because from what I heard, one of the DLCs, I think it's the Blood and Wine one. Is that what it's? I think it's what it's called.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard because that is such a large expansion. Oh, that's great wording too. That just amped the game up that much more.
Yeah.
Because it's everything about it was usually with an expansion, it's I don't know how older games really did it, but usually it's just a little piece here and there. Kind of added to the main game as a side quest. It's a little thing.
You might have gotten a new hub or something.
Yeah, but this was just a completely new area, new dialogue, new everything.
Yeah.
It's just a separate game almost.
It's the Old Hunters. Yeah, I just bought it, and that's the exciting thing too. Is as much as I love Bloodborne and I could play it and play it and play it, I still have a whole chunk of story I haven't seen, and I'm bad at that game. So there's a lot through my first playthrough that I missed. And
I think Witcher would be the kind of game where I would want to play in a dark room with a fireplace, an actual bottle of wine, and just get lost for 20 hours.
That almost sounded perfect. I think you need some kind of cape. Some kind of medieval type cape. And then you're perfect.
A cloak. Just get a hooded cloak.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's my one piece. Maybe my only piece. Who knows? But yeah.
I got two things, actually.
What you got?
So, while watching my dear Orioles choke in the playoffs last night.
Yes.
On TBS, national television.
Turner Broadcast.
Yeah, you got it. I noticed commercials, national audience playoff game.
Okay.
Commercials for a CSGO tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
eSports getting big.
eSports got there was a couple promotions
It's in
too.
the game.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? TBS, didn't they buy something, or they have? Hold on.
Mr. Turner, what was he up to?
Who? Turner. Old Dr. Turner. TBS.
No, but yeah, while you're looking at it, I just
Yeah.
but when I was still sober in the beginning, and then when I was getting drunker as that game went on, I had noticed that. I can't believe that this is being shown, but to just such a mainstream audience. But then, you think about ESPN has kind of made it a big deal when I think it was League of Legends, if I'm not mistaken. They did a tournament. They broadcasted a tournament.
That would make sense. That blew up.
So yeah, it's getting out there, and I just
StarCraft.
I'm now waiting for a Super Bowl whatever number we're on ad now. I think if we got there, which is, I think we're a while away, but if we got there,
it's a step. So this I pulled up a story from Engadget from last year where TBS announced that they signed a broadcasting deal. The Turner Broadcasting,
yep.
TBS. They signed a deal for 20 weeks of the year. This year, they were going to broadcast bouts of CS:GO.
Interesting.
Yes, and then the article goes on to cite that ESPN showed off Heroes of the Storm last year at some point. Because I remember that one guy from ESPN making some bullshit comment or something about.
CS:GO is like one of those games where, kind of like Evil Online, where it's like, if you didn't play this from the beginning, it's like too late to
you're not
join in and try to be something.
Yeah, good luck. I watched that game. It makes me really want to play it, but at the same time, like watching how good these people are,
Yeah.
I'm like,
I have it, and like I play
No,
with my
there's
friends
no way.
sometimes, but it's
Our friend James, who has been on the podcast,
I'm nowhere like hardcore about it though.
he plays it a lot. He plays it like competitively, and his team did really, really well. I know last year. I don't know how they've been doing lately, but yeah, it's wild. I don't have the. I don't know. I feel like you've got to like, and he very much like he would talk about doing scrimmages and like it's.
Yeah.
They sit down, they take it super, super seriously, and it's a big fucking thing.
do you guys watch any competitive esports at all, or?
If I did, it was a show on G4.
Good old G4. Remember when Olivia Munn was a geek and a nerd like the rest of us?
Yep.
You remember before Olivia Munn?
Oh yeah. What's her face?
I mean,
Morgan Webb?
Yeah.
I mean,
X-Play?
yeah, she might have been. She might have been the first.
Yeah.
Adam Sessler.
Back when he had hair.
No, but yeah, they had a show in there where you had people compete
I remember that.
in games with each other, and one of my favorites was watching was Unreal Tournament Capture the Flag, because that was my favorite mode in that game.
When is that coming back?
Wait, they announced the thing, didn't they?
At QuakeCon, they announced something.
I thought.
I'm not sure if it's Unreal Tournament, but I think it was a Quake game in itself.
Remember?
Oh, well, that Quake Arena type game, that was announced at E3.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but then they said, like, I think there was more stuff at QuakeCon that would go more into detail about it, I guess. I'm not sure. But, yeah, but Unreal Tournament, like, 2003, 2004, like, those were, like, that was my favorite.
Yeah, there's,
But Capture Flag any game, I'll play it.
Yeah, I like it watching CS:GO every once in a while, especially like the big tournaments. I can't get myself into League of Legends. There's like speaking another language, but it's English. It's like a bizarre thing when I listen to League of Legends broadcast. They say something about lanes. I'm like, yeah, lanes. I know there's 3 of them, and then they get into like it gets wild real fast.
Because depending on your character, like the characters have a certain role when you play.
Yeah, it's like support. Yeah.
And
I know some terminology. I'm not a complete idiot, but it feels like I'm listening to another language.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean.
And then there was another game. I'm not sure if it's still like a thing anymore. It was called Shoot Mania. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
Heard of
Very arena based game where it was like one shot, one kill, but there was like an attacking team and you had to defend a point and you had to like get to the point and stay in there for like 6 seconds. And like I think was there a set number of shots, or like when you shot it was like a quick 1 second reload kind of thing? But yeah, it was one shot and you're dead for the round. It was pretty cool, and it was just all these crazy strategies. It was the first game in a while that made me think of the Unreal Tournament. Those good old eSports.
That concept reminds me of Dive Kick.
Dive Kick.
I don't think I've ever really watched, I've watched eSports stuff here and there.
But what's cool about Unreal was that you could see the characters in third person. And you could see do like the little like acrobatic tricks as they're moving around, like double jumping, jumping off walls and stuff, doing like side flips while shooting.
I will say the broadcast style of CSGO, I feel like they have a good broadcast of it.
Yeah.
They've got it nailed down.
Is that via the Turner broadcast? Or
I'm talking any like Twitch, ESL, like anything.
Yeah.
I have not watched the Turner broadcast, so I can't speak to their structure.
I watched something, and I don't remember what it was now. But like occasionally, like whenever those big events happen, like I've watched some just to see like what the hell. I think I watched some Dota 2 back when everybody was going crazy about Dota 2. It's like,
MOBAs aren't really my thing.
Yeah, I can't do it. But I will say, watching, the closest thing for me is like Summer Games Done Quick or Awesome Games Done Quick. Any of those things where they do speed runs. That stuff fucking fascinates me.
Yeah, my friend he leaves that on his TV, like in the background, there's noise, and he watches them.
I was watching. I'm actually
they're
working
for good
on
causes too. They're never just like to do it. They're for awesome causes. So I love.
I think him and I watched Battletoads.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? It might have been Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. This shit that they do. I'm working on an article right now as we speak. Not as we speak, but I have something in the pipeline about speedrunning in Symphony of the Night. And there's a ridiculous thing that happens at the beginning. Beginning of Symphony of the Night, you get all of your weapons stripped from you. Like within 4 minutes of playing the game.
That's right. There's a way around that, isn't there?
Yeah. There's a sequence break you can do where you trick the math of the game. So you basically, when you level up your character, your movement freezes. But while you level up, if you're in the exact right spot and you can cross a certain barrier in the way the screen scrolls, if you can cross that as you level up and then hold the backdash button at a certain point, you'll dash, and then basically it puts Alucard's sprite at -1 on the, in the computer. And the computer doesn't like negative numbers in this instance, so it jumps you to the next available spot, which is 255, which puts you to the next room past where you get your item stripped. It's ridiculous, and it happened because someone was speedrunning, and as they're running through and trying to do all the stupid shit to whatever, they did something, and they magically ended up on the other side, and they went, what the fuck happened? And a lot of these speedrunners, what they do is they're constantly recording themselves, because when they do something weird like that, they want to go back through and frame by frame figure
it's like watch it in game film.
Yeah, figure out what did I do there, what happened that went right, so they can do it again and again and again. It's how the Wind Waker run across water glitch was discovered. Same thing with Ocarina, where the
all
guy
just like
fell.
happy accidents and
and because they're constantly recording themselves. There's an old Nintendo voice chat episode for IGN's Nintendo podcast, and they interviewed Cosmo Wright, a speedrunner, who I believe had or has the record for Wind Waker. And he went into all of the detail on like why these, I think it was the pocket trick, because you would have to pull out the Wind Waker, and as you fall, you pocket it at a certain moment. But it all happened because somebody accidentally ran off the cliff and then fumbled to try and save themselves and hit the right combination of buttons at the right time. And then from then on, that whole speedrunning community, they all share these secrets with one another, these things they discover, and then it kind of blows out.
It's weird.
Yeah. But yeah, speedrunning's fascinating to me. So that one I watched, like that kind of.
My favorite speedrun I've ever seen is Burger King Sneaking.
Oh my god.
And the best part about that speedrun was he could only play, he didn't complete the game. Mm-hmm. He only got to a certain aspect of it because he said, quote, the game breaks. And then he was doing something and he was like, all right, so and this is one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. He's like, all right, so we're getting towards the end here. Depending on what the game gives me, if it decides to break, I'm going to do A. If it doesn't break, I'm going to do B. And then, of course, he's going along and, like, some weird glitch happening. He's like, all right, game's breaking, so we're going to go to this option. I'm like, this is incredible. You have spent hours upon hours playing Sneak King, and you know what to do when the game breaks.
Oh, my God.
That's it's not that long, either. It's a good watch.
But that's the type of thing that, like, good for him for knowing that, but I can't dedicate my brain power to that. I would go crazy. That's why I think it's so fascinating to watch, because I know I can't do it.
I just wouldn't find the time to do that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if there's a you listen to the sports community and they're afraid that this is gonna take over. You know what I mean? Like they could not.
Oh yeah, no.
And I don't think it could ever take over.
No, it's not.
It's not mainstream enough, but I don't really know either. Like. I don't know. It's a weird conversation to have. It's weird to think futuristically about it because there's a lot of things that we didn't anticipate.
It's never going to take over the way that those types of sports fans are.
If there was something like Tron, I would totally watch it.
Yeah, but Tron was actual people.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying, but if we did something with VR and it got like eSports like serious about it, that dealt with like not right now, but like later down the line where we had like maybe like cool ass suits or something.
You're
and
telling me PSVR can't get us into a Tron world?
I mean,
maybe. No, but I remember
most of it you have to stand in one spot.
That's true.
Remember people used to make fun of people with cell phones and say, "Oh, I can't believe him walking around." Sharing all their business out everywhere they are, never want a cell phone. And now, like, if this is like less than 6 inches from us,
it's more
scream.
than a phone.
It's
I think we use it for more things than a phone.
Right, but like we never anticipated that
right,
this would become what it is. When we saw those things
it's come so far that it's become
cars.
like just more than a phone at that point. It's like a little personal computer.
Well, if you have a phone, you have a lawyer.
Yeah.
So,
brought that back.
Oh, week after week, it's all the time. But I think additionally, we don't really know. Like, we're a whole generation of people who grew up with video games constantly. There's a generation after us who are growing up with tablets like all the time. Like there's I was listening to a podcast recently and someone said that his 1-year-old has a 20-word vocabulary and one of them is pad. So it's like that girl is going to grow up in a world where all they know is this, and I'm shaking an iPad for those who aren't in the room with us, which are all of you except for the three of us. And yeah, I don't know, maybe esports do overtake sports.
Yeah, a long way for that to go.
The Turner Broadcast Company, they are ready for it, though, I tell you what.
I hope they sponsor F-Zero when it becomes real.
Oh my God.
But isn't because TBS, traditionally, if you look at TBS and their line of programming, they're pretty conservative. Like, well, I guess Conan was a stretch, right? But, like, it's a lot of the it's a lot of the CBS stuff. Like they do a lot of Big Bang Theory and Mike and Molly and
Seinfeld, Friends.
And then sports, like it's a, I don't know, not that it's a, conservative is not the right word, but it's, I don't know.
I can't remember. I know I'm going to be probably the only one in the room that could answer the question, but I don't remember who has the NBA playoff rights. I want to say it's TNT and TBS have them.
Yeah, it is. Because it's
looking for you.
Yeah, I know things. Definitely TNT. Does TBS have playoff rights?
Well, TNT and TBS are the same.
Thank you.
Or they're not. I mean, obviously they're different channels, but same.
They both owned by Turner.
There you go. It's all connected dots here.
Who's the main character in Fairly Odd Parents?
Timmy.
Cosmo.
Timmy. What's his last name?
Burner?
Jernigan? Is it Jernigan?
Jernigan. That sounds about right.
Turner.
Oh, Turner. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You going to watch CSGO on TBS?
Absolutely not.
Mark, show me something. Tell me something.
Well, little bit of news, update rather, with in the Pokemon world. You know, the one I'm so never burnt out of.
Yeah. Oh, I think Oswald's telling us it's time.
No, but like this one was actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
They showed the stage 1s of the starters.
They did.
Kind of makes you wonder what
Stage
2 will be. I have no idea yet, but
Are you saying that for real?
I really don't know.
Do you remember the leak?
Is that real though?
I don't know, man. So after seeing stage 1, so these are Litten, Poplio, and Rowlet. Mm-hmm.
Do you really think the stage 1 of Rowlet is going to turn into what people call Rolliver?
Yeah, I do.
It's just, I feel like it's going to be something a little more fancy.
I don't know.
Like, I mean, he still has the bow tie.
So let's describe him. So Rowlet is a small, round owl, and he evolves into... How would you describe it? Like a very...
a prom date in the 80s.
Dickensian... Oh, okay.
He has the bow tie still, but the hair is like almost swooped over one eye, and he flips it around.
He looks like Gyrum, right? From Skyward Sword.
You know what? A little bit.
Like, he looks like Gyrum is
bit.
dressed up like a fat owl who's hiding in a Hamburglar costume. Or Grimace.
I mean, sure.
That's Rowlet. And very much like...
The other two, however, look like they would go into those leaked.
Yeah, then Litten turns in from a small fire cat into a medium-sized fire cat with more fire color.
Torracat.
Is that what the name of it is?
Yeah. For Rowlet's evolution, it's Dartrix.
Yeah, which was a dumb name. Real dumb name.
I think like Dart, so...
See? It's getting there. It's getting to that arrow. I'm
Maybe.
telling you.
And then Poplio's is Brion?
Sure.
Brione? Brianne?
See, but...
Beyonce?
Poplio turns into Beyonce, and Poplio goes from small circus seal to...
Did you see what...
Quasi-mermaid seal thing.
Did you see what kind of Pokemon it is? I'm not sure if this was correct or not, but it said it was a pop star Pokemon.
Oh, God. See? That's what I'm saying. That final form that was leaked could be old mermaid... You know?
Probably.
Old
It's just
mermaid.
weird seeing, trying to like... Are you a male? I can't tell.
It's a pop.
I know, but like some Pokemon, they look so gender specific.
Yeah.
So it's like you just can't.
No, I know. Like what's it
like,
called?
It'd be funny.
Breaksin and the big one,
Delphox.
Delphox. I always assume female Pokemon because I always think witch, and witches to me are ladies. And then,
which is correct.
But so that's why if I get a male Fennekin, I'm like, just go away. Just give me a female Fennekin.
So yeah, you get to see those. That's interesting.
Yeah.
There was a new area called like the Festival Plaza, where you can play games and collect festival coins.
Yeah, it is. I'm not.
Various shops, including ones that boost effort values. So like that's a thing you can do with friends. Mega Evolution is here to
Confirmed.
stay.
Yeah.
Here to stay.
Didn't think that when they announced the Z moves, but Mega Evolution.
Yeah, and the last bit I have to share about this at the very end, I guess I'll just maybe I'll answer my own question, but there's a reason why I'm like confused about that. There's a special demo October 18th. Hey,
I know that day.
And from what I've seen, it's actually maybe that's why I said 18th.
Maybe.
That demo is actually, what is it? A little around 200 megabytes bigger than the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire demo.
Interesting.
It's 400 megabytes. Omega Ruby was 250.
Why do you know this?
I remember reading it somewhere.
Oh, okay.
But the special Pokemon you can get is Ash Greninja. Which, alright, so this is what, the second time the anime has merged with the games?
But the first time you had to go to Toys R Us to get Ash's Pikachu, so...
Right, and the whole special Pikachu edition, the yellow version, is just...
Oh, there's that, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little iffy about that. I mean, I get why they did it, because Greninja's the most popular Pokemon, apparently.
Japan.
Yeah. But he has the ability, Battle Bond, which calls him to change form when he knocks out an opponent.
To your statement about Greninja? Sorry, excuse my Pokemon ignorance. Of all the Pokemon you literally just said here in the last 5 minutes, that was the one that I knew.
Greninja.
Because of Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
they picked him for Smash before he was even.
Yeah, before the game even came out.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Ninjas.
When you say, "Oh, I guess that one's popular," that was the one I knew. Yes.
Yeah. He's like Japan voted him number 1 most popular, like higher than Pikachu, higher than whatever else.
Charizard.
Yeah, like this was
Really?
Pikachu and Charizard were in like the top 5 or 10.
yeah, they were up there, but like Greninja was number 1 most
Yeah.
favorite. Now, granted, he's been very, very heavily featured in the anime in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
They just came out with a new anime series, right? That's still like.
Oh, they have the
Oh, yeah?
YouTube one. Yeah, have you watched Generations yet? Either of you?
Yeah, I have.
No,
I'm caught up.
Yeah. Is it good? I haven't watched a second of it.
Generations?
The new YouTube one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched it at all.
None of them.
No.
You haven't seen any of them.
No.
You really should.
Yeah?
Yes.
Fuck.
It's better than Origins.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, poops.
Because each one is a section from a different game.
Yeah.
And it's like a little important part. And the animation is so much better.
All right, shit.
That's probably why they're so short. Because
Yeah.
they put all that time into the quality of these
Animation.
things. Yeah.
All right. How long will it take me to get caught up?
Not long. Each one's only like a couple minutes. So you can watch them all within like 20 minutes probably.
Cool.
Why
Do it
is
tonight.
why is IGN reviewing these? That's the only reason why I know they're there is because IGN's reviewing.
They
each
come out every
episode.
Friday.
I'm just like, they're 3 minutes long.
The most recent
Gotta
one
review
is from
There you go.
episode 4. It's Gold and Silver, and it's when Lance invades the Team Rocket headquarters. That's making that Gyarados go crazy at Lake of Rage.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just Lance and Dragonite just wrecking house. It's pretty cool.
It's a Marc Game.
You like it too?
I know. I meant the cartoon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a Marc Game.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got a trademark show.
Ah, shit. Call up.
Coming
Better
soon.
get on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the part that kind of
Yeah.
throws me off. It has been confirmed that the Pokemon Global Link for X, Y, Ruby, and Sapphire will close
Right.
November 1st, ahead of the update for Pokemon Sun and Moon on November 18th. After this, in addition to the Pokemon Global Link and all features within being inaccessible, you will be unable to game sync or go into the rating battle on Battle Spot in the games. All other online functions, including the GTS, Wonder Trade, and free battle on Battle Spot, will remain accessible. Never mind.
Oh, that's good.
I answered my own question because I read that wrong. I thought you couldn't access Wonder Trade or GTS. I was like, why?
Yeah, that just renders those generations of Pokemon.
Why would you get rid of all that but
completely
keep Mega Evolution? Like, how would you get those Pokemon into
useless.
that game?
Yeah.
So never mind. I'm just an idiot.
All right,
So-
well, learn how to read better, dummy.
Yeah.
Speaking of dummies,
One question about Pokemon. When is this new game coming out?
11/18.
11/18.
Yeah.
There's a dummy named Michel Ancel. Michel Ancel. It's French. He made a game called Beyond Good and Evil, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And there's a new one coming out, finally. And everybody seems to be very,
Whoa.
very happy about it.
You say finally. I think we've known about this forever. Now no one's talking about it.
Until recently.
But like they were, and then they weren't, and then they kind of were, and then
They teased it at 1 E3 so many years
I was
ago.
gonna say, a couple of years ago, they
But
re-announced kind of like.
but just recently there was an image. Is that where you're
yeah,
going
yeah,
to?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But like now it's like it's all happening and it's all rolling forward, and I don't care because I never played the first one.
I want to.
You know what that seems like to me?
I don't know. What does it
I need
seem
a
like?
sound now. Now it needs to become a sound that we need a sample of Marc Game trademark. But what it said to me was the precedent that fan favorite things that maybe didn't sell too well at first, that had a very cult following, that then died off, that people demand secrets. I'm tired now. Sequels for, they aren't necessarily dead forever.
Right.
And what precedent does this set for other companies to say, oh shit, we can do that too? We already saw Psychonauts did it.
Nostalgia sells.
But even further than that, just like, yeah, fuck it. There is a fan demand out there to do that. Like, I know Kickstarter, that's the whole point of that thing, is to like let the fans directly speak with their wallets.
Mm-hmm.
But if this is a thing, what Half-Life 3? When they come in?
Okay,
Mother-
that game's never going to come.
I know.
I think.
We're not getting it. But like, what other fan games have you or fan games? What other like highly, like I'm trying to think of different games that people have wanted forever from that kind of point of view, where like it just didn't sell well the first time around, but people loved it because we see it in movies all the time too.
My first immediate thought and my counterpoint to for this becoming a glowing trend.
Yes.
Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
I don't think Catalyst did well critically. I think it did average. And I highly doubt the sales numbers in that game are any good either.
Fair point. So yeah, maybe you're right. It could be.
We might start seeing more like a wave of this now because those types of games are in probably production and it's probably too late to pull the plug on it at this point just because of money spent. But with Mirror's Edge, I can't think of another game, but Mirror's Edge was the one that jumped out.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I think if you start seeing more of these things like a Beyond Good and Evil 2, where they come out and then it flops.
Yeah. Nuke 'em Forever.
Wow, that's a whole different.
When you go through like 4 studios to make one game.
Yeah, 4 studios, 19 lawsuits, and.
So yeah, I think you're gonna see a trend here in the next couple of years where these games are in development or greenlit. But I think at the end of the day, you're just gonna realize that 5 people yelling on the internet makes it seem like 500,000 people are yelling on the internet.
But in reality, it's
really
just
not.
5 people who are gonna buy it and not.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a trend you're gonna see going forward here in the next couple of years.
I'll buy a Bloodborne too. That's all I'm saying. Do you have another show and tell?
Sorry?
Do you have another show and tell?
Oh, one last thing that kind of broke right before we started the podcast here. Bethesda and Sony have come to some sort of agreement for mod support for both Skyrim Special Edition, which is right around the corner, and Fallout 4.
Yeah.
From what I read, it's going to come first to Skyrim and then to Fallout 4. I don't think they had any dates in the thing I briefly read.
I'm sorry, did you say mod support?
Mod support, yeah.
So like users can just make up their own mods and it can play them
some
on.
has already live on Xbox, and I think it's doing okay.
Oh,
I don't think
man.
I don't know what that marketplace looks like. I don't know if you can just put
the
up
things
anything.
that will follow. I can't wait.
Mods on PlayStation. So we and Sony have worked hard to make this possible. Mods on PlayStation 4 will allow you to modify and create your own content by using our creation kit available here. You can click this link. You will not be able to upload external assets with your PlayStation 4 mods, but you will be able to use any assets that come with the game, as most mods do.
Never mind.
But I don't think this is going to be like a free market thing.
I think this is like they're limiting it only because of licensing. You can get away with a lot more on PC than you can on PlayStation, because you put it on PlayStation, you have like the picture that IGN put up was Thomas the Tank Engine like running through the thing, and like you put that on a Sony console, suddenly like people are going to start going to Sony's door and knocking on it, and that's likely why they denied it in the first place. It's like, hey, we don't want to do this because legal issues, etc. Because suddenly you have Batman running around in Skyrim. Warner Brothers is going to be, excuse me.
But then with that, the licensing thing, why? I'm sure it's the same issue at Microsoft on the Xbox. So what happened? And this is not Bethesda's first time kind of giving a middle finger to Sony when it comes to running games on their console.
See, but I don't remember like the original story when this broke, where it was like, hey, they're not going to be on here. Bethesda very much was like, hey
this
guys,
is Sony.
Look, see this bus? We're going to push Sony under it right now. And they were like,
Sony was already under the bus that week.
They were, and Bethesda kept waving all the buses in like an air traffic controller, like, yep, come on, run over the right here. But they threw Sony right under it, and they were like, nope, it's their fault. They did it. They said they won't do it. My like speculation, guessing, Microsoft has been trying to blur the lines between PC and console for a very long time. Even more so, they're like exponentially ramping that up. So they go all in on this just because they kind of have to. They're the underdogs this time around. Microsoft's console with the Xbox One, they have to try and make up some headway. So anything they can have over PlayStation. Oh, they'll never do this. Let's do it. You know, that kind of, maybe that's why they jumped in on it. It's a weird one. I don't know if there's...
Yeah. And then at the tail end of that was kind of going off that bad week was the support patches are coming for support in 4K for PS4 Pro for both Skyrim and Fallout 4. So I don't know. The two kind of kissed and made up. I don't know what happened because that patch is not necessary, and I think that list of patches that are coming kind of day one or launch kind of era are very slow. I mean, when you go back to that conference, they showed you Infamous First Light. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like that the game was a launch game. The DLC of course came later, but that was a DLC. That wasn't a core game. So
to promote that, it was kind of...
So yeah,
but to promote that also, well, it's a whole different podcast.
Yeah, I don't want to go too far down that train, except for HDR, I believe, came out today as well.
Yeah,
HDR
via patch, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have an HDR TV, do I?
No, neither do I. So does anyone at this table care?
Do we have? How do I know if I have one?
The price says it real big on your box.
So I don't have one.
I'm sure that's a selling point. Oh, HDR, that's cool letters.
I'm using a computer monitor, so.
Yeah.
You know, 40-year-old Donna's going into your TV for the living room. She sees HDR. She's like, "Oh, that means something."
Is 40-year-old Donna related to 10-year-old Pete?
I was gonna say, that's the same thing.
I have different age brackets, and if I come back, you'll probably see me mention 7-year-old Betty. That's a favorite of mine at work.
It's a good one.
So, yeah, I'm sure your big TV box that the actual television came in would have had real nice and big.
I don't even
HDR.
remember now. Because I was just mad that this one, I'm pointing at my TV, blew up when we moved in. And then we just ran out and bought one with, like, what was left.
But, found that super interesting with Bethesda.
Yeah.
Just kind of kissing and making up with Sony. Again, this is like I said, this is not the first issue. Everyone remembers Skyrim on PS3.
What a bag of trash.
Still, my favorite was when the review copies came, everyone was like, why listen to the PS3 one? And then they got it launch day. Mm-hmm. And everyone was like, oh, it looks fine the first 10 hours. And then that
was ridiculous. I completely forgot about that.
Flood of complaints came.
Do you remember that? It was like they didn't understand how to handle the RAM correctly, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Remember, PS3 had that freaking, what was that?
It did.
That core
the cell,
thing? Or cell, yeah.
But they didn't understand how to properly tap into the memory of the system. So when you played for a certain amount of time, once you got, it was roughly like 10 or 12 hours, just because of how much you had already accrued, the memory didn't understand how to redistribute the assets. So the great thing about Skyrim was you go around and you collect 30 apples, you can throw them all on your floor, and when you leave and come back, you can go to a different house and put 1,900 shovels in the same room, and you can keep going to all these places, and they're always there. The memory remembers to rewrite those assets and put them back in, but PS3, it didn't know how to do it. So it's one thing to make your apples disappear because they're random things you find laying around, but it got to the point where it's like removing people's like armor and things that they've saved because it just couldn't remember to keep those assets somewhere.
And then when it started doing that, the game just started stuttering, frames dropped, and then even worse than that, it became unplayable.
Yeah, it really crashed in certain instances. It was breaking PS3s. Am I wrong about that? Or
I don't know about that one.
But I remember like it would go, like, cut to black and you couldn't do anything, and you had.
I remember my
power
roommate at
cycle.
Skyrim, and I believe he got to the point where it started stuttering, and he was like, "I'm done."
Yeah, no. I got to the point where I made the man shout like a dragon or something, and then I was like, okay, I understand what this game is. Bye.
Yeah.
Mark?
Still never played it.
All right.
Never played it either.
Maybe this fall on PS4 with mods?
Nope.
Okay, all right, sorry. I guess so.
Now give me that Fallout 4 mod, though. I might go back and replay that.
Maybe. I never finished that one either because it's all the same. But that's a different week. That's the end of this week. I think it's a good point to end it. We broke the 2-hour mark. We haven't done that in a little while.
Oh, really?
I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, no, this is good.
That's an average.
No, yeah, this is where we were. And then we were like, we need to... And then... Yeah, we're good. It's good. It's a good solid episode. If you enjoy this episode, you can find it and all the rest of our episodes on thefreecheese.com, where it's currently Castlevania month, and I posted the cover story titled Monsters. Quite happy with that title.
Mm-hmm. Great title.
Thanks.
Some Mark title, I think.
God damn it. Trademark.
Well, I did help pick it.
You did, because I sent Mark 2 options, and I said, which one you like better? And he was like, oh, that one. Don't be an idiot, you idiot. And I was like, all right, I won't, I guess. Monsters. I told you before, but I'll tell you again. Reviewed Slain Back from Hell. I got a little preview of Azure Striker Gunvolt 2 up on the website. You heard before this month we were playing Castlevania Aria of Sorrow to celebrate 30 years of Castlevania. So look for that article on the website, as well as some retro spotlight content on the Castlevania series. All of that. This entire episode was brought to you by Castlevania. You've heard nothing but Castlevania tunes this entire time. And guess what? If you hate Castlevania music, you're fucked. Because that's the entire month of October on the Free Cheese podcast is Castlevania tunes. Additionally, we're going to be live streaming, finally, because I did that test run last week with Super Mario 64, and it worked.
Yeah.
So we're going to have, obviously, the NES trilogy. I'm finally going to play Super Castlevania 4. Maybe Mark will play Symphony of the Night. Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth on the Wii. I'm really excited for that one.
I actually did want to play that.
Yeah, I really want to play that.
Is that a remake of the first one?
The Game Boy one.
The Game Boy one, that's right. Yeah.
And the Game Boy one is terrible, but it has amazing music. And they did a remake on WiiWare. So I got to go into
That's right,
the Wii Virtual Console.
Jesus.
Gotta go deep.
We're going to go deep. We're going to go
Get your shovel out there.
deep.
Shovel all the crap.
Bring it. I'm very excited for October. This is the month where I come to life for 31 days, and then I go back to sleep for the other however many days there are in a year. It doesn't matter anymore. But yes, you should go read.
I'm multitasking, Mark.
Yeah, you should go read the episode write-ups, because that's where I include the names of the songs that were in this episode, as well as any relevant information like links to articles we talked about or things like that. You can follow us all on Twitter. The Free Cheese is at SomeFreeCheese. Mark is at aug_mental. Matt is at
MattyIce131.
MattyIce131. I'm at The Free Cheese. Be sure to send us a question or feedback, podcast@thefreecheese.com. Subscribe to us in iTunes, etc., etc. I'm thinking about adding us to some other places. Maybe Google Play. I don't know. Tell me where you listen to podcasts at, and I'll put it there. It's not that hard to do. You just got to tell me that you want it there.
But they can't tell you because they're not listening here.
But what they're probably doing is they've been on the website listening to it through their web browser, and they're like, damn it, I wish I could just listen to it on this native thing that I use all the time for the rest of my podcast, and I love the Free Cheese so much, and I hate going to this website. I'll put it wherever you want it. Just tell me where you want it, and it'll go there. That's just what we do. That's it. Anything else?
No, I love October.
It's the best month of the year. It is very a good month.
I just really gotta pee.
All right.
There it is.
There it is. Matt, thank you for coming and hanging out.
Of course. I would love to come back.
Friday, Batman.
Yes. No, I'm making it a point.
A
I am
Telltale
off
series.
from my regular job. I'm making it a point.
There it is. We'll have lots of stuff throughout October. That's it. That's an episode. Episode 166. Thank you, listener, for listening. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Matt, for hanging out. See you next time.